It's Wednesday, March 4th. The Rideau Canal Skateway is set to close for the season tonight after 56 days of skating.
New airstrikes this morning in Beirut as the conflict in the Middle East widens this morning.
I would like to stop switching. Stop switching. Just keep it, leave it alone.
And as one Canadian province moves to permanent daylight saving time, we look into weather that could happen for us here in Ontario. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now.
Good morning to you. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
Happy hump day, everybody. I'm Will Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
And hopefully you've had a chance to maybe enjoy one of Ottawa's greatest wonders, the Canal Skateway, because Rosie, sadly, with the warmer weather, it looks like we might start to see a change.
It's like we've had such a good season and we've been so lucky that it started so early this year and we've had some great days. And all good things must come to an end at some point.
This is true. Believe it or not, we started skating on the canal last year, 2025, December 31st, and we knew this moment would come. Here's your top stories. It is the final day to lace up your skates on the canal. The Rideau Canal Skateway will close for the season tonight. The NCC making the announcement. It will close the skateway at 10 p.m., so there will be one more day of skating. The season will be 56 days long. That's how many days folks were out there skating. 4 days longer than last season. The canal opened December 31st. The NCC says it has received more than 1 million visitors since then. A major housing development has been proposed for Orleans with one big catch. There's no parking for residents. There's a proposal to build a 5-building development near the future O Train East extension, which could include 30, 35, and 40-story tall buildings. In total, there would be 1,500 residential units, but only 136 parking spaces for visitors. The developer says parking is not required given the proximity to future transit.
I think it's unreasonable. I don't think that you can guarantee that 1,500 units, all these people won't have any cars.
Not everyone wants a car, not everyone can afford a car, and not everyone can drive a car. So I'm really, really happy and really support to see an opportunity to give options to people.
The proposal would need to be approved by council and, if built, would be years away.
A Byward Market revitalization plan is moving closer to reality after a city committee approved the initial proposal, but there are questions around the removal of a very popular parking garage. Part of the city's $200 million plan would see the old Clarence Street parking garage transformed into a new arts and cultural hub. The city says underground parking is possible, but it would add roughly $15 million to the plan and only replace about 60% of the existing 290 spaces.
There's not enough parking on the market, whether there's transit available or not. We still need parking spaces.
It's very important to have parking for this area, for the businesses, for the restaurants. People, I know it's going to be a new venue for music too. People need to park somewhere.
City staff will return with a full plan in 2027, and if council approves, it means that the shovels would be in the ground shortly after. And continuing with some parking news, the owner of a downtown garage that partially collapsed last year plans to reopen it. A section of the garage at 170 Slater Street collapsed last February, sending slabs of concrete and piles of snow and other debris down multiple levels. About 50 vehicles were stuck inside the parking garage for weeks. The owner says restructuring work is set to begin in the near future. The cause of the collapse remains under investigation, but city officials said the snowbanks on the top level were, without a doubt, a contributing factor.
As the war in the Middle East continues to intensify, we are hearing from Prime Minister Mark Carney for the first time. He recalibrated Canada's position after criticism that his government's initial written statement did not address international law.
Well, Canada was not asked to participate. You know that. We were not informed in advance. We were not asked to participate. Prima facie, it appears that these actions are inconsistent with international law.
He added that he supported the strikes with regret because it represents a failure of the international order. It comes as attacks continue to be felt across the region. This is a strike in Beirut, while Israel says a fresh wave of strikes have hit Iran. A U.S.-based human rights agency says more than 1,000 people have been killed in Iran.
The city's Auditor General is reminding residents that there is a hotline that you can use to report on city employees. The Fraud and Waste Hotline is a confidential and anonymous tool that is available to residents and city employees to report any allegations of fraud or serious wrongdoing. The Auditor General says they receive more than 300 tips every year.
A great example of how successful it is about a year ago, we actually reported on what appeared to be a kickback scheme between a group of landlords and a city employee. And this particular situation was actually impacting the most vulnerable population of the city. So it did exactly what it was intended to do.
The awareness campaign comes ahead of the 2025 report on the Fraud and Waste Hotline, which will be presented at an audit committee meeting on March 31st.
Applications are now open for a new fund to help grow the city's nightlife. The fund will provide money to groups and organizations that need help getting an event or project off the ground. Ottawa Tourism says the program is designed to support initiatives that are sustainable, recurring, or make a momentous impact on conversations about Ottawa.
The Ottawa Senators were in tough last night on their road trip through Western Canada.
Now picked up by Stutzler. Stutzler winds across the top, steps around, puck holds it. Stutzler, he's about to score. Drake.
That's our Drake Batherson with the go-ahead goal to make it 3-2. But Edmonton battled back, scoring with less than 2 minutes left to tie things up at 4. The Oilers would then score an OT on the power play.
Final score, 5-4. The Sens play again tomorrow night in Calgary against the Flames.
You know, on to this final playoff push here. You know, securing 1 point against a great Edmonton team is always great. Tkachuk took a penalty in OT, which unfortunately led them to score, but we get a point out of it.
Absolutely. Go Sens, go.
What always. All right, on the weather front, we talked about the canal unfortunately being closed now, but it has been a great season.
It really has, and that's because it's been bitter cold all winter long.
Very cold.
We have seen below seasonal temperatures for many, many consecutive days. The good news is now we're going to see above seasonal temperatures for consecutive days, which is a really nice shift. Right now, we are sitting at -2 to start off your morning, so it's not even a bad start to your day. Temperatures aren't too cold out there. A little bit of a wind chill this hour does feel closer to -6. So, hey, I think most people can live with starting off your morning feeling like -6. It's 2 degrees is how it feels in the valley, one in Brockville, as well as in Cornwall, -4 in Kingston. So temperatures kind of all over the map this hour. A little bit cloudy to start off your morning, but we will see that sunshine back today. So more sunshine into the afternoon. A few clouds throughout the day ahead as well. So mix of sun and cloud for us today. We will stay clear of precipitation today and tomorrow, but Friday's looking like a different story. This is overnight Thursday into early morning hours. Friday, yes, we are expecting some rain. So it is looking a little bit soggy as we head towards the end of the work week, but temperatures will stay mild right through until next week. 3 degrees is the high for today, so that is above the norm. Normal for this time of the year is around -1 degree. So we will be a little bit above average into the afternoon. And I pulled out the shades in our closet today, put away the gloves, pulled out the shades because it will be nice and sunny in through the afternoon. Temperatures very similar across the region. Look at that, 3 degrees out in the valley, 5 for Bancroft, Trenton, 4 in Kingston today, 5 in Kemptville, Brockville, 3 in Cornwall. So kind of all over the map, but definitely on the warmer side throughout the region today. 3 for Petawawa, Gatineau, 5 is your daytime high over in Mont-Tremblant. Over the next couple of days, we're going to see these mild conditions right through until next week, but we still have cold days left in March. So just keep that in mind. Don't go putting away the winter gear just yet. Overnight dropping to -7. We will see that sunshine, slightly cloudier for tomorrow, but still a little bit of sun. 0 is the daytime high. It is looking a little bit wet for as we head into Friday and Saturday. We are expecting some showers both days in the forecast for us. Looks like it'll start early in the morning on Friday and kind of continue into your day on Saturday. Still some sunshine, and look at how warm the temperatures will get as we head into the weekend. Not quite double digits, just below. 9 degrees is the high for Saturday, 7 on Sunday, and 9 is the daytime high as we head into next week.
Weather is brought to you by Manatic Tree. Complete tree care from start to stump.
On your drive in this morning, no major issues east to west. Traffic is smooth sailing this hour. We are collision free, which is great news, and no major issues on your drive in. Now let's check out your TSN must-see moment.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for it, we take you to the ice. We got a little NCAA women's hockey. And check out this save from UConn's Tia Chan. Diving in desperation, gets a glove on what looked like a sure goal for Holy Cross. One of her 27 saves on the night as she earns the must-see moment from Tuesday. And coming up today on TSN, we've got full coverage of the 2026 Montana's Brier. It all gets underway at 1 p.m. Eastern on TSN 1 and 5. That's all from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa.
I would like to stop switching. Stop switching. Just keep it, leave it alone.
So BC is moving to permanent daylight savings time, but could that ever happen right here in Ontario? We're going to take a look coming up next on our show, but for now we head outside. There's Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Above seasonal temperatures on the way, -2 this morning, feeling like -6 degrees, but warming up to +3. Oh, that sounds nice. It's 6:11 on your Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Here are the big stories we are following today on Your Morning Ottawa. One more skating day on the Canal. The NCC says the Rideau Canal Skateway will close for the season tonight. A proposed high-rise in Orleans is getting mixed reviews for its plans to build 1,500 units with no resident parking spaces. The Prime Minister weighing in on the crisis in the Middle East, saying it appears the continued strikes do not appear to follow international law. Now, let's check on the forecast.
And we will see some sunshine throughout the day today. Temperatures not too cool. -2 currently, feeling like -6 degrees. We warm up to 3 degrees this afternoon. That is going to be so nice. And we still have potential double digits in the very near future. Melissa breaks it all down, but we will have a beautiful Wednesday ahead. Let's take a look at your roads on your Wednesday morning commute. Nothing major to report. Everything is smooth sailing at this time. Roads are clear. Everything looking good. We'll be sure to pass along anything that comes through our newsroom. So twice a year, we switch the clocks and then debate why and whether we should continue that or not. Daylight savings time begins this Sunday, and in BC, it will mark the last time residents there have to flip their clocks. That province is moving to permanent daylight savings time, but could that happen here in Ontario? Here's CTV's Dave Charbonneau.
For most of Shane Fear's life, he's never had to deal with changing to daylight saving time.
I'm from Saskatchewan originally, and so over there they've never had it as far as I know. Well, it takes a little thinking, you know, spring forward, fall back. What does that mean exactly? It's not a big deal. It's only an hour, right? But at the same time, I feel it's unnecessary.
And the British Columbia NDP government agrees. BC is now switching to permanent daylight time. But this sleep expert says sticking to standard time is best for our health.
The time that we're in now is, the normal time that's dictated by the sun. A lot of people are already sleep deprived, so this kind of worsens that. But also the fact that we're getting more light in the evening, it actually suppresses our sleeping hormones that kind of rise before bedtime and pushes our bedtimes and our sleep times later as well.
As for Ontario, Premier Ford has stated the province is ready to follow BC's lead, but with a major condition: only if Quebec and New York State also follow suit. In a statement from the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, they say, while some may be relieved not to change the clocks each year, the lack of coordination with other jurisdictions risks causing confusion and disruption.
The Canadian Federation of Independent Business was upset with the move away from the time change. And when you have different time zones, it increases the chance that that becomes complicated and difficult. So it increases the friction in business transactions, or increases the chances that, your scheduling is going to be disrupted from, an inability to deal with that time change.
Most Ottawa residents we spoke to are in favor of doing away with changing the clocks.
You get screwed up when you have to change your sleep. So don't change your sleep patterns. Everything will be fine.
I absolutely hate it. I don't understand why we have to do that. And everyone's system gets out of whack.
It's a pain. I don't mind the fall back, but the spring ahead's a pain.
I think I'm pretty adaptable myself, so I don't know that I have a real opinion on the matter.
For most Canadians, clocks spring ahead 1 hour this Sunday morning at 2 a.m.
I would like to stop switching. Stop switching. Just keep it, leave it alone.
Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
All right, Rosie. If it got implemented here in Ontario, which side of the fence do you swing on here?
Well, I think, okay, so we've all come together and we've done the spring forward, fall back. We've all managed to do that. We can just keep it and keep the clocks, stop switching forward and back, and I think everybody would be on board. Yeah. I really think so. It wouldn't take that long. We're not that slow. We can catch on here. I'm for it.
Yeah, and I think too a good part of it is, you know, people talking about the disruption of sleep, and I hear from many of my friends that are parents and my siblings and stuff that when you have kids, that really can change their sleeping habits, which causes a lot of back and forth and trouble for weeks too.
Yeah, you know what, on our podcast coming up this week, we're talking about that a little bit more, about our sleep habits and how you help babies sleep through this time change and how adults manage this time change, because you know, you need what, 7, 8, some people need a little bit more sleep, but you know, you need about 8 hours sleep, and then you take away an hour by springing forward. All of a sudden, wait a minute, now I got to go to bed earlier, and inevitably, we're going to lose that hour.
Yeah, and dramatic swings too, right? Where it gets dark so early, so quickly, and then like during the winter months, it can be difficult. Obviously, we get a little bit more in summer as it continues on, but they are huge swings back and forth. So I think I'm with you too. Let's just let's change it, and then let's not go back and forth all the time.
Are you for daylight saving time, or are you for standard time? Because right now we're in standard time, but we're going to jump ahead so that the sun, the daylight will be longer, the sun will set later. Do you want to keep it daylight saving time, which means, you know, the sun will set a little bit later throughout the year, or keep it standard?
I'm a little conflicted, and and the reason being is because in the spring and summer months, it is so nice just to have that sunshine a little bit later on in the day. And like growing up, being out on the water, it was so nice, you know, going for a boat ride or enjoying that sunset a little bit later.
9 o'clock, it's still light.
Well, I mean, you know, and now it's like, well, I'm asleep before then anyway, so maybe I could go back. But it was really nice during that time. So I'm at a little bit of a conflicted point when you think about that.
Yeah, I hear you. I know. I love sleep. Just give me sleep whenever. But I think, if we could stop going back and forth and just like leave it at one standard time, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. All right, we're going to talk to Bill Carroll right now. As the war in the Middle East continues to intensify, we are hearing from Prime Minister Mark Carney for the first time. He recalibrated Canada's position after criticism that his government's initial written statement did not address international law. Why don't we check in right now with Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush on 580 CFRA. Bill, you were talking about Prime Minister Carney's response to this war. Now we're breaking it down a little bit more. What do you have to say?
Didn't I call it? Didn't I say his position doesn't make sense with his base? He's going to get pushback on that. Clearly he did, and now he's trying to clarify. So let's look at where we are today. And I'm pretty pleased to see you. There you are. It's the old Liberal Party. I was wondering if you'd ever come back. Our Prime Minister now believes that we should back the war against Iran, but that it is illegal internationally, and he regrets it. That's our position now, that we are okay with laws that break international law. We're okay with that. That'll be a great argument next time our sovereignty is threatened. Next time Donald Trump wants to take Greenland, because you know that's going to come back sometime. This cannot be our position. I mean, is there no moral clarity in our government at all? Maybe he left his moral compass back in Ottawa. Maybe if he'd spend less time traveling to Australia, because we need to tighten our ties with Five Eyes. Of course we don't need to tighten our ties with Five Eyes, or pick up the phone and call these people. But you know that someone left their moral compass at home, and they also took along a newly minted Liberal MP who betrayed his constituents and changed parties. So I guess we shouldn't expect more moral clarity. You know what, Rosie? For me, this is an easy one. This is what I tell my kids about these things. The law and morality should line up. And when they don't, then you need to change the law. Give yourself a gut check here. If it's against international law to stop the biggest creator of international terrorism in the last 50 years. If it's against the law to at any point finally say we've had enough and step in, then the law is wrong. The law is not fit for purpose. It cannot be illegal to finally put an end to this tyranny, to step in with a government that killed tens of thousands of its own people just a few weeks ago. It would have been better to step in then, maybe, but the timing is a matter of logistics often. But this, if you care about the children in Gaza who've been dying, remember that it is Iran who used them as puppets with its sponsorship of Hamas, who allowed an organization to attack Israel and then hide behind children in schools and in hospitals and underground and take hostages. It's all Iran.
Bill, so
how
sorry.
can it be wrong
We're going to have
internationally
to
to
cut
finally
you off,
put an
but
end
we
to that?
hear what you're
the
saying.
The timing doesn't matter.
We hear what you're saying, Bill. Thank you so much. We're totally out of time here. Thank you so much, Bill. Remember, you can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. Here's a live look from our Skycam on George Street. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Today on Your Morning Ottawa, we are looking at what you need to know about traveling as a family in 2026. So we are asking for your comments today on what is your best travel hack. Let us know your thoughts. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. And it's funny because this week we talked about the chaotic pajama situation. You know, should you be traveling with PJs? Maybe that's a travel hack that you have with your kids or whatnot. But for you guys, that I know you don't do much traveling.
No, but
over the last little while.
I'm going to, and I'm so excited because my family is going on their first vacation ever, and we have our CAA on later on this show, and they're going to be talking exactly about what's happening to us is multi-generational traveling. So we are going with my parents who are a little older. We are going with my brother's family, my sister's family, and my family. All together, I think we're 15 people. Lots of kids, 7 kids in there. And so I was saying, you know, now I'm at this stage where we're going to Disney and it's a bit too much for my parents to walk Disney. So we are going to have to rent a stroller plus wheelchairs. And that's where I'm at in my life, where do we have enough adults to push everybody? And that's kind of what we're thinking.
Do you feel like you're ready? I know you're planning the trip. I mean, what are some travel hacks you're thinking that you need?
I don't know. I need all the advice from our viewers here this morning because this is the first time that I'll be adventuring on this. And there's, as I mentioned, a big gang of us. So there's quite a few of us that will be all together. So it's been a lot of planning, but it's been my parents' dream to take us all. So I'm very excited that they get to
and it's going to be crazy and it's going to be wonderful.
Absolutely.
It will.
All the above, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're going to be hearing from you later on in the show. We are asking, what is your best travel hack? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca so you can help Melissa plan for her trip, her multi-generational travel trip. All right, coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, we will hear from CAA about what you need to know if you are planning to travel with family this year. That's the topic of our Ask the Expert segment this morning. That's coming up a little bit later on in the 8 o'clock hour. You are watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back. Good morning. Welcome to the show. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb. And we do have some mild temperatures on the way. Good news for some people, not great news for others.
Yeah, and it looks like that weather has now contributed towards our top story today.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to get straight to it here. It is the final day to lace up your skates on the canal. The Rideau Canal Skateway will close for the season tonight. The NCC making the announcement it will close the Skateway at 10 p.m., so there will be one more day of skating. This season will be 56 days long, 4 days longer than last season. The canal opened December 31st. The NCC says it has received more than 1 million visitors since then. There is a proposal to build 5 residential buildings in Orleans, one as high as 40 stories. They could house hundreds of residents, but there's a catch. There wouldn't be any parking for the people living there.
There's been a recognition that that should be left up to the market.
Well, that's going to be a problem because surely people will have cars. That's crazy.
I think the development is long overdue and it's an awesome opportunity for Orleans.
There would be space for 1,500 residents and only 136 parking spots for visitors. The development would be located close to Highway 174 in the future O Train East extension, which is why the proposal is allowed to include such limited parking. The project still needs to be approved by council.
A Byward Market revitalization plan is moving closer to reality after a city committee approved the initial proposal, but there are questions around the removal of a popular parking garage. Part of the city's $200 million plan would see the old Clarence Street parking garage transformed into a new arts and cultural hub. The city says underground parking is possible, but it would add roughly $50 million to the plan, and it would only replace about 60% of the existing 290 spaces.
There's not enough parking on the market, whether there's transit available or not. We still need parking spaces.
It's very important to have parking for this area, you know, for the businesses, for the restaurant. You know, people. I know it's going to be a new venue for music too. People need to park somewhere.
City staff will return with a full plan in 2027, and if council approves it, it would mean that shovels would be in the ground shortly after. And continuing with parking news, the owner of a downtown garage that partially collapsed last year plans to reopen it. A section of the garage at 170 Slater Street collapsed last February, sending slabs of concrete, piles of snow, and other debris down multiple levels. About 50 vehicles were stuck inside the parking garage for weeks. The owner says restructuring work is set to begin in the near future. The cause of the collapse remains under investigation, but city officials said the snowbanks on the top level were, quote, without a doubt, a contributing factor.
Speaking in Australia this morning, Prime Minister Mark Carney was asked if the strike in Iran broke international law.
It would appear prima facie not to be consistent or to be inconsistent with international law. It's a judgment for others to make. I'm not a lawyer, let alone an international legal expert. You know,
Prime Minister Carney also called the conflict an example of the failure in the international order. He says despite decades of sanctions and diplomacy, Iran's nuclear threat remains. The Prime Minister has faced criticism for initially backing strikes on Iran. This is a strike in Beirut, while Israel says a fresh wave of strikes have hit Iran. A U.S.-based human rights agency says more than 1,000 people have been killed in Iran. Gas prices are up across the country, and experts aren't sure how high they could go.
No one can really predict where prices are going to be, and I wouldn't trust anyone trying to predict where prices are going to be in a month or next summer, but certainly when we look at the trend is upwards.
Tensions in the Middle East has put upward pressure on energy prices. In the Ottawa area, the price for a liter of gas jumped 6 cents a liter overnight. Canadians for Affordable Energy President Dan McTeague is predicting another jump tomorrow.
U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has agreed to testify before a congressional committee over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Lutnick acknowledged last month that he visited Epstein's island in 2012, but denied any wrongdoing. The announcement comes days after former U.S. President Bill Clinton and his wife, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, testified in the inquiry. Justin Timberlake is suing to block the release of the police body cam footage from his drunk driving arrest. His lawyers argue that it would subject him to public ridicule and harassment. The pop star pleaded guilty to impaired driving in 2024. Police say that he ran a red light while driving in the New York's affluent Hamptons region.
And a whole lot of good news for Bagel fans. A popular Ottawa company is set to expand.
Kettleman's Bagel is opening 5 new locations in Ontario, including Kingston, Barrie, and downtown Toronto.
And right now there are 8 Kettleman's locations, including on Bank Street, in the Glebe, and at Train Yards.
Instantly get hungry.
Right?
Just instantly want.
feel like we need to have them in your kitchen. It's been a while since we've had them on. Yeah, and I know they have those delicious gluten-free bagels now, so I can indulge. And they even have a vegan cream cheese, so it's dairy-free, which is delicious. So
see, you can go in there and just have a great time.
They got something for everyone. They're so fresh, good, and I love that, right? Because the gluten-free options, they have so many. Go in there, in and out, get your nice bagel.
And then you put a deli dill pickle in the middle.
Here we go.
Will hates pickles. Melissa loves pickles. I like pickles too. I hear what you're saying.
So good. Nice crunch and a salty deliciousness.
Feels like
that's for you guys, all right?
Feels like no.
Only on a Big Mac for me.
Only on a Big Mac.
Which is rare.
Well, our forecast today, it's another mild, sunny day. Are you ready for more sunshine and warm weather?
Yay.
I think many of us are after this winter. It's been a very, very cold winter. So I think most of us are looking forward to a little bit more spring-like conditions. Clear this morning, sunny and mild this afternoon, and we will see it mild and wet as we head towards the end of the work week. Even this morning, not so bad temperature-wise. I mean, right now we're sitting at -2 with that wind chill this hour. It does feel closer to -6. So not a bad looking start to your morning in terms of temperature. Kind of all over the map too in terms of where temperatures are sitting. Warmer in the valley, sitting at 2 degrees. That's how it feels this hour. It feels like 1 in Cornwall as well as down in Brockville. So cloudy skies, a little bit of clouds this morning, but we will see mix of sun and cloud throughout the day ahead. So still lots of sunshine to be enjoyed into your afternoon on this Wednesday. It will continue to be sunny tomorrow. However, we are expecting some rain on the way. Overnight Thursday, it looks like we could start to see some rain in early Friday morning, and we could see quite a bit of wet weather on the way Friday and through Saturday. So of course, we could see that snow start to melt, and make sure your catch basins are nice and clear so it can drain all that excess water. 3 degrees is your high into your afternoon, so temperatures above seasonal into the day ahead. 5 for Bancroft, Kemptville, Brockville. Very warm across the region. Temperatures above that freezing mark throughout the region today. 6 in Kittigan, Zibi. 5 is your daytime high in Mont-Tremblant as well as in Montreal. And the warm weather will stick around right through until next week. -7 is the low, 0 is the high for tomorrow. More sunshine on the way. And with a week like this, it's no wonder the Rideau Canal Skateway does have to close, because it's just going to be so warm for very, very long stretches. 5 degrees as we head into Friday. Again, Friday, Saturday, looking a little bit wet at this point. We're definitely expecting that rain throughout the day on Saturday, but still some sunshine in between as well. As we head into Sunday and next week, temperatures staying very, very mild with daytime highs of 9 degrees.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
Now on the 417 westbound, we're seeing a few slowdowns between Richmond Road and Greenbank this hour, but we are collision-free still on your drive-in.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
Coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, the conflict in the Middle East is escalating with deaths reported in Lebanon. We'll bring you the latest with CTV's Scott Hurst coming up just ahead. We'll take a peek outside, and a mild day for us. It is 6:40 on your Wednesday. We will be right back.
Here are the big stories happening today on Your Morning Ottawa. One more skating day on the canal. The NCC says the Rideau Canal Skateway will close for the season tonight. A proposed high-rise in Orleans is getting mixed reviews for its plans to build 1,500 units with no resident parking spaces. The Prime Minister weighing in on the crisis in the Middle East, saying it appears the continued strikes do not appear to follow international law. Now, a check on the forecast.
And if you are heading out to the Rideau Canal Skateway for today, you have a beautiful day ahead. It will be nice and sunny, so make sure you pack your sunglasses, and mild. 3 degrees is your daytime high for today. Not so bad overnight, dropping to -7, partly cloudy conditions. It could be a little bit foggy early tomorrow morning, so keep that in mind on your drive-in. Cloudier for tomorrow, but still a little bit of sunshine on the way. 0 is the daytime high, then wet weather on the way for Friday with a daytime high of 5. On your drive-in this morning, just starting to see some volume build. If you are heading eastbound on the 417, there's a look at the slowdowns. Richmond, Pinecrest, and through Nicholas is a little heavy this hour.
Thanks, Melissa. Switching gears now, as U.S. and Israel's campaign against Iran enters its 5th day, Global Affairs Canada is urging Canadians to avoid all travel to 10 countries, saying that more than 85,000 Canadians and permanent residents are currently registered as being in the region. CTV News correspondent Scott Hurst joins us with the latest in the Iran war and all the news that we need to know. Good morning to you, Scott.
Good morning, Will.
So as I stated there, it's been 5 days since the U.S. and Israel launched attacks in Iran. What's Canada's latest response?
Well, as we've been seeing over the last 5 days, as you mentioned, this is now day 5 of this operation. The escalation of attacks have thrown much of the Middle East, much of the region into chaos, with the U.S. and Israel continuing its joint operation, which began early Saturday morning. And in the meantime, upwards of 10 countries across the region have reported counterstrikes by Iran. Prime Minister Mark Carney has now spoken about the situation in Iran for the first time on his foreign trip from Australia. He reaffirmed Canada's original support of the initial strike by the U.S. and the effort to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon, but said that comes with regret, as the current conflict, what he calls, is another example of the failure of international order, saying initial support is not a blank check. Carney calling for rapid de-escalation and says Canada stands ready to support that, saying diplomatic engagement is essential to avoid a wider and deeper conflict. Here's more from the Prime Minister speaking in Australia.
It's for the United States and Israel to make the case, and for whether or not that is the case. And it's for others, more expert than me, non-lawyer, certainly non-international lawyer, who are more expert to make that determination. And that said, well, Canada was not asked to participate. You know that. We were not informed in advance. We were not asked to participate. Prima facie, it appears that these actions are inconsistent with international law.
So you heard part of what the Prime Minister said right there, reminding all parties, including the U.S. and Israel, to respect the rules of international engagement. Also, Will, calling on Iran to stop its strikes against civilians across the Middle East.
Yeah, Scott, and when we look ahead to the future, currently 85,000 Canadians either permanent or visiting that region. What are the next steps for Ottawa to coordinate evacuations in that area?
And, Will, in the days since these strikes began, that number has swelled by more than 10,000, now just shy of 100,000 Canadians who've registered in the region, as Canada has issued updated travel advisories to many countries in the Middle East. The Foreign Affairs Minister has stated she's now asked Oman for permission to access its airspace if it's necessary for Canadian citizens to get out. However, saying there's no current plan for Ottawa to coordinate evacuations, either by working with commercial partners, by using their planes, or using military aircraft. In the meantime, we have already reported Global Affairs says it's deployed a surge of consular support to certain countries in the region, including Israel, Jordan, and Turkey, to help Canadians across the Middle East, trying to get either more information on their current situation or potentially information on getting out of the region. Well,
speaking with CTV News correspondent Scott Hurst on everything happening with the Middle East war right now. Appreciate your time, Scott.
Thanks, Will.
Today on Your Morning Ottawa, we are looking at what you need to know about traveling as a family in 2026. So we asked for your comments on what's your best travel hack. And we're really glad that we can talk about this, because we got CAA coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. And Melissa, you are looking for advice here.
Absolutely.
You are looking for those hacks.
I've never traveled with my kids, so I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also a little nervous because there's so much to keep in mind. So I would love all the travel hacks so I can make sure it goes off without a hitch and nice and smooth.
Well, let me just say this, okay? Traveling with my daughter when she was a wee one, just be prepared. Mom's going to be the one who has to carry the bag with everything in it.
Right.
Exactly. And even though I know we've got the digital devices, the tablets, which are great, that's a great way to keep the kids busy. But don't forget that, the tactile, easy stuff like crayons and a notepad. They love that stuff for hours. It keeps them very busy. And snacks.
Okay.
For parents.
All the
snacks for parents. All right, we're going to keep this conversation going. What is your best travel hack when you're traveling with the family? Maybe even multi-generational travel, like Melissa's going to embark on in a little while, and she wants to hear from you. So let us know. CTV, Your Morning Ottawa at ctv.ca.
And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, great news if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, and great news if you're a fan of Harry Styles. We will bring you both those stories ahead in our Morning Fix. Here's a live look at our sky cam. So great to see that sunshine before 7 a.m. A mild day ahead. 3 degrees is the high. Good morning, Ottawa. Happy Wednesday. It is 6:49. And it is time now for your morning fix. And Canadians across the country look to the sky overnight and early Tuesday morning, catching a rare celestial show as a total lunar eclipse turned the moon red. This was the view of the blood moon over Toronto. This was early yesterday morning. The Canadian Space Agency says the phenomenon happens when Earth moves between the sun and the moon, casting a shadow, turning the moon a deep red. Look at that. The next total lunar eclipse won't happen until late 2028. So hopefully you caught this one because you're going to have to wait a while to see the next one.
So cool to see it transition to that color.
Absolutely.
And there are the people that really like this, like, are so into it and are so excited to get the telescopes out and get some great shots.
And I mean, we're lucky to get that view too, so now we get to share with all of you, which is lovely. Well, a Game of Thrones movie is in the works, with Warner Brothers officially developing a prequel set in the world of Westeros. House of Cards showrunner and Andor writer Beau Willimon has been recruited to write the script based on George R.R. Martin's fantasy series. The story is set to focus on events 300 years before the first episode of the hit HBO series. No word yet on the film and when it will go into production or when it will be released.
So just, it's gonna happen. But we don't know when, we don't know where, we don't know how. What a teaser.
But it's coming.
It's coming. It is going to be on the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope I could watch the movie without having seen the series, because I don't know if I'll ever be able to catch up on the series. It's so long.
Oh, yeah.
And there's so many, but I would love to watch the movie, you know? It's just a couple hours as opposed to hours and hours and hours.
And I feel like it's one of those things, because it's set 300 years prior towards, like there might be callbacks, but I feel like they're going to position it in a way where
not gonna be
you
lost.
don't need to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And Harry Styles will celebrate the release of his new album with a Netflix concert film. Netflix released this little teaser trailer yesterday. The pop star's first show in nearly 3 years is taking place in Manchester, England on Friday night. It will be filmed and available to stream by Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Styles' new record, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally, will be released this Friday. Love that. That's cool. That's new.
All you fans, get ready.
And these are always so cool because someone as popular as Harry Styles, people are so interested to see what happens behind the scenes. It's like we earn for those details.
Absolutely. Like, I was obsessed with the Taylor Swift documentary on seeing it all unfold and like her concert series, because I never got to go. So I think this is great. Since he's playing in England, it gives, you know, Harry Styles fans here a chance to see him in concert through Netflix.
Yeah, which is so great, especially with his voice and his story. I'm sure there'll be a lot of cool people that'll be interested into that.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we got a contest for you. Are you dreaming of an unforgettable adventure? Indulge in the magic of Hong Kong. You can enter for a chance to win a trip for two, courtesy of the Hong Kong Tourism Board. The prize includes round-trip flights on Cathay Pacific, 4 luxurious nights at the Park Lane, Hong Kong, $1,000 in spending money, and a 3-day pass granting access to over 20 amazing attractions so you can explore the vibrant markets and the serene temples, indulge in world-class cuisine, and take in breathtaking views. Enter online right now, ctvottawa.ca, or you can scan that QR code on the right side of your screen. Good luck to everybody.
Coming up in the next hour, we are talking about the dangers of lithium-ion batteries and how you can keep yourself, your family, and your home safe. A staggering number of high school students are not getting enough sleep. So today we are paging Dr. Paul to get his advice on how we can help our teens get the sleep they need. The warmer weather has many thinking of their next tea time. 2 experts from the Ottawa Gatineau Golf Expo share all the details. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Expecting a fairly mild day today. Hope you can get out and enjoy it. And last day to skate on the Rideau Canal Skateway is today. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back. It's Wednesday, March 4th. The Rideau Canal Skateway is set to close for the season tonight after 56 days of skating.
Ottawa Fire is warning the public about the dangers associated with lithium-ion batteries. We learn about how you can keep you and your family safe.
Our Sleep Week segment today is all about teens and why they need a good night's rest. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning. Come on in. We're so glad you could start your day with us. I'm Rosie Edden.
I'm Will Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb, and we do have another nice, mild, sunny day on the way. So if you're thinking about lacing up your skates, it's going to be a beautiful one to do so.
Okay, that's really good. In fact, that's our top story today. Let's talk about that. It is the final day to lace up your skates on the Rideau Canal. The Rideau Canal Skateway will close for the season tonight. The NCC making the announcement it will close the Skateway at 10 p.m., so there will be one more day of skating. This season will be 56 days long, 4 days longer than last season. The canal opened December 31st. The NCC says it has received more than 1 million visitors since then. A major housing development has been proposed for Orleans with one big catch. There's no parking for residents. There's a proposal to build a 5-building development near the future O-Train East extension, which could include 30, 35, and 40-story tall buildings. In total, there would be 1,500 residential units, but only 136 parking spaces for visitors. The developer says parking is not required, given the proximity to future transit.
I think it's unreasonable. I don't think that you can guarantee that 1,500 units, all these people won't have any cars.
Not everyone wants a car, not everyone can afford a car, and not everyone can drive a car. So I'm really, really happy and really support to see an opportunity to give options to people.
The proposal would need to be approved by council and, if built, would be years away.
A Byward Market revitalization plan is moving closer to reality after a city committee approved the initial proposal, but there are questions around the removal of a popular parking garage. Part of the city's $200 million plan would see the old Clarence Street parking garage transformed into a new arts and cultural hub. The city says underground parking is possible, but it would add roughly $50 million to the plan and replace only about 60% of the existing 290 spaces.
There's not enough parking on the market, whether there's transit available or not. We still need parking spaces.
It's very important to have parking for this area, you know, for the businesses, for the restaurant. You know, people. I know it's going to be a new venue for music too. People need to park somewhere.
City staff will return with a full plan in 2027, and if council approves, it would mean shovels in the ground shortly after. And more with parking news. The owner of a downtown garage that partially collapsed last year plans to reopen it. A section of the garage at 170 Slater Street collapsed last February, sending slabs of concrete, piles of snow, and other debris down multiple levels. About 50 vehicles were stuck inside the parking garage for weeks. The owner says restructuring work is set to begin in the near future. The cause of the collapse remains under investigation, but city officials said the snowbanks on the top level were, quote, without a doubt, a contributing factor.
As the war in the Middle East continues to intensify, we are hearing from Prime Minister Mark Carney for the first time. He recalibrated Canada's position after criticism that his government's initial written statement did not address international law.
Well, Canada was not asked to participate. You know that. We were not informed in advance. We were not asked to participate. Prima facie, it appears that these actions are inconsistent with international law.
He added that he supported the strikes with regret because it represents a failure of the international order. It comes as attacks continue to be felt across the region. This is a strike in Beirut, while Israel says a fresh wave of strikes have hit Iran. A U.S.-based human rights agency says more than 1,000 people have been killed in Iran.
The city's Auditor General is reminding residents that there is a hotline that you can use to report on city employees. The Fraud and Waste Hotline is a confidential and anonymous tool that is available to residents and city employees to report any allegations of fraud or serious wrongdoing. The Auditor General says they receive more than 300 tips every year.
A great example of how successful it is about a year ago, we actually reported on what appeared to be a kickback scheme between a group of landlords and a city employee. And this particular situation was actually impacting the most vulnerable population of the city. So it did exactly what it was intended to do.
The awareness campaign comes ahead of the 2025 report on the Fraud and Waste Hotline, which will be presented at an audit committee meeting, which takes place on March 31st.
Applications are now open for a new fund to help grow the city's nightlife. The fund will provide money to groups and organizations that need help getting an event or project off the ground. Ottawa Tourism says the program is designed to support initiatives that are sustainable, recurring, or make a momentous impact on conversations about Ottawa.
Hundreds of people gathered to release lanterns into the night sky in Taiwan at an event marking the end of Lunar New Year festivities.
Ah, that is just so beautiful. Those releasing lanterns wrote their wishes for the year ahead before setting the lanterns free.
The Lunar New Year was ushered in on February 17th.
The year of the horse.
I love it.
The year of the fire horse, actually. It's a really special year.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
It's so magical to see all those lanterns in the night sky.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. It's such a beautiful sight. Like you even just watching it through the screen and not being there, you can feel, yeah, totally. I completely agree.
You almost get lost in it, being like, oh, wait, I have a work to do.
Yes, and we can't launch those in here.
That's right.
We can have wishes.
Yes, absolutely. Our weather picture of the day we want to show you. This was sent to us from Christine.
Ooh.
It's a little deer grabbing some lunch.
Weather picture brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating, just box me up.
And of course, we love seeing your weather photos, and it could be featured right here on the show. All you have to do is email them to us, weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, that email address is weathershots@ctv.ca. Maybe we'll get some pictures of you skating on the Rideau Canal one last time this season, but it's going to be a beautiful day to do so. Temperatures above seasonal. 3 degrees is the daytime high, and that sun won't set until 5:53, so just before 6 p.m. Temperatures right now, we keep on continuing to climb, so not too bad to start off your morning. We are sitting at -1 here in the city. It's 1 in Montreal as well as in Cornwall, 0 for Brockville, -2 in Kingston. This is how it feels with the wind chill this hour. Feels closer to -2 in the valley, -6 for us here in Ottawa. So slightly colder in Ottawa as well as in Trenton to start off your day, but don't worry, we will warm up into the afternoon. A little bit cloudy out there this morning, but some sunshine throughout the day ahead, and we'll kind of see a mix of sun and cloud this morning, which will continue into your afternoon. Precipitation will stay to the south of us. You'll see this system, but then Friday, that's when we're expecting some rain. So we're expecting wet weather to end off the work week and to start off your weekend, so the rain will continue in through your day on Saturday. Temperatures today, a beautiful school day forecast for us. Mix of sun and cloud, a high of 3 degrees, so some great weather to get outside for recess later on this afternoon, as it will be quite mild across the region and very warm temperatures today. Everybody will sit above that freezing mark in our viewing region. 5 degrees for Trenton, Kemptville, Bancroft, 3 out in the valley for today. Same with us here in the city and in Cornwall. Gatineau as well, sitting at 3 degrees. Even warmer in Kittigat-Zibi, sitting at 6 degrees into your afternoon. And if you can't get outside today too much because you just have to work or have to stay indoors, don't worry. We have more mild temperatures on the way. Even tonight, not so bad. -7 is the low. 0 for tomorrow, slightly cooler, but still above seasonal. A little bit of sunshine into the day ahead. Friday, Saturday, looking wet. So we are expecting precipitation. Looks like some rain. We could see quite a bit of rain, especially throughout the day on Saturday. So we will let you know around 10 to 15 millimeters at this point, but it's still kind of early to see how much rain we will exactly get. Still some sunny breaks in through your weekend as well. Then as we head into Sunday and next week, temperatures still really warm, almost creeping up into the double digits.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
And we do have a disabled vehicle on the 417 eastbound at Richmond Road that is causing delays. 417 eastbound is now slow between the 416 split and Richmond Road. 417 westbound also slow between Champlain in Orleans and the Parkway. 174 also heavy westbound passing through Cumberland this hour. Now let's check out your TSN must-see moment.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for it, we take you to the ice. We got a little NCAA women's hockey. And check out this save from UConn's Tia Chan. Diving in desperation, gets a glove on what looked like a sure goal for Holy Cross. One of her 27 saves on the night as she earns the must-see moment from Tuesday. And coming up today on TSN, we've got full coverage of the 2026 Montana's Brier. It all gets underway at 1 p.m. Eastern on TSN 1 and 5. That's all from Sports Center. Have a great day.
And still to come right here on Your Morning Ottawa, concerns and warnings about lithium-ion batteries, fires, and safety. We learn what you need to know to prevent fire from Ottawa just ahead right here in our capital city. Our guest, Leanne, is standing by in the cozy Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. Nice and cozy there, giving us some safety tips coming up on the show. Leanne, come back in. Stay cozy. We don't need you quite yet. There it is. Nice and relaxed on our show. Let's take a peek outside through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Thank you, Melissa. Warmer temperatures on the way, but it is the final day to hit the canal. It closes at 10 p.m. tonight, so take advantage while you can. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Here are the big stories happening today on Your Morning Ottawa. One more skating day on the canal. The NCC says the Rideau Canal Skateway will close for the season tonight. A proposed high-rise in Orleans is getting mixed reviews for its plans to build 1,500 units with no resident parking spaces. The Prime Minister weighing in on the crisis in the Middle East, saying it appears the continued strikes do not appear to follow international law. Now let's check on the forecast.
Sunshine if you're thinking about going out for one last skate on the Rideau Canal. It's going to be a beautiful day to do so. Mild conditions as well. Mix of sun and cloud this morning into your afternoon. 3 degrees is the high for later on today, so temperatures above freezing and above normal. So beautiful day just to get outside and enjoy the milder temperatures. On your drive-in right now, we do have a couple of incidents to report currently on your roads this morning. There is a disabled vehicle on the 417 eastbound at Richmond. We also have slowdowns eastbound on the 416 split and Richmond Road. 174 is heavy between Champlain Street and Orleans to the Parkway.
It is an alarming trend that Ottawa Fire wants to help prevent us right here in the capital. We are going to be showing you some video about lithium-ion batteries. Take a look at this, because just last month, right here, 2 homes in Richmond started after a lithium-ion battery had been left to charge for too long and created a fire hazard. And then what you're about to see, security cam footage was released back in January showing a fire that started when a dog began chewing on a heated glove containing lithium-ion battery. The damage caused the globe to begin a new smoke before sparking and setting the couch ablaze. So as you look at there, thank goodness fire was able to get in that situation. We were able to have some cam footage as well to prevent something like that. Leanne joins us now. And, I want to talk about first, take it a step back. What are these batteries and why are they so at risk?
Yeah, so these batteries are the most popular rechargeable battery that we have nowadays, especially for our electronics and any of our rechargeable devices. And what they are is they're basically a very small spot that contains a lot of energy. And that is a good thing. But also at the same time, because they have so much energy contained in a tight, small spot, becomes hazardous if we're damaging or misusing them.
Okay, so when you look at this, when someone's coming to you, Leanne, what do I need to know right away about these batteries and how do I best protect myself and my family?
Number one thing is make sure that you're charging them appropriately. Charging is one of the #1 causes of the fires, and actually in Ottawa since January 1st of 2024, we've had approximately 55 different fires involving lithium-ion battery fires.
Wow, and how do you even know which ones are this particular trend? Because sometimes you just might not be aware. Is there a label, or are you going to walk us through some ones here?
So these are just different examples of the types of batteries that you may find. Like these ones come from your drills. These are just small ones. This actually came from your smoke alarm. And you've got all different ones from like children's toys, phones, cameras, vacuums, and that kind of stuff. So they're everywhere that we have. We just need to know that although they're amazing for energy, we really need to treat them with the respect they need. You need to use the charger that it came with, making sure that that charger is not damaged. A charger is one of the big things you never want to skimp out on. If you need to buy a new one, make sure you're purchasing one that's certified and one that's going to have the correct voltage and current rate for the device that you're using. Preferably from the manufacturer is always your best option, but making sure there's one that's certified by them to help protect the device.
Right. This is not one of those situations where, you know, you want to go for the cheaper option because you can certainly pay the price later on. And when you see some of these videos here and the damage that can occur from these batteries, so what are we looking at? How does this occur?
Yeah, so right here what happens is the device itself, so these are all individual cells that would have been held within a larger lithium-ion battery. And what happened is they went into, there would have been a damage or an overcharging or something that caused the chemical reaction in it to go to what we call thermal runaway, which basically means that the heat is building up so fast in the device and it has nowhere to go. It can't dissipate on its own. So then it puts it into chemical reaction, causing the smoke, the smells, and all of that stuff.
And it can happen really quickly,
within
right?
seconds to under a minute.
Wow. Okay, so previously we showed the video of the dog that was chewing on the heated glove and then the fire sparked. So we've talked about how we can be safe, but when you think about pets and animals in your video, and we'll show it for you again, how can we prevent something like this happening? Because you might not even be home and your pets are at home and they're vulnerable.
True. Yeah, they are. So it really comes down to, just like with children, pets are the same. Make sure that anything that could be dangerous or could cause an issue is out of their reach. So especially anything that contains a device, put it up somewhere high, keep it away from them. Make sure that they have only pet-friendly things to chew on. Obviously, heated gloves not being one of those.
Yes. That is not in the bribe category.
No, it
it's treats,
is
not heated gloves.
Yeah, exactly. So just making sure that it's out of the way from them and that they're staying safe.
And you know what? People love these segments. You know, it's such great information. But of course, they might have a particular situation in their home or a question. What's the best way if they do have questions for you and to be as safe as possible?
Absolutely, 100%. If you ever have any questions, you can contact us at Ottawa Fire Prevention at Fire Prevention at Ottawa.ca. I apologize about that.
That's okay.
And you can send any of your questions or queries to there, and we'll be more than happy to answer them. The biggest thing to remember, though, is if you do have a fire from one of these, number one thing, unplug it if you can, if that's possible. If it's possible, move it outside, only if it's safe to do so, and then always just call 911.
Okay.
We'll come out and we'll take care of it and make sure that everything is safe.
Well, great tips in there. Again, we are coming into our third month of the year, 55 calls already. We want to try to minimize the amount of calls you get. But we always so much appreciate you coming in, Leanne.
Absolutely. And just a quick one on that, too. Don't forget, we're changing our clocks this weekend.
Yes.
So when you change your clocks, go and check your smoke alarms as well.
There you go. What would we do without Leanne? I don't even know. I don't want to know. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Rosie, over to you.
Thanks so much, Will. I had the chance to meet award-winning artist Jordan Danger, who has completed an artist in residence with the City of Ottawa, working with the Solid Waste Services Department. Have a look. I really love this space. We're here at Ben Franklin Place. This is Old Nepean City Hall with Jordan Danger. Good morning to you, Jordan. Hi. The exhibition called Airspace. Jordan, tell us about this exhibition.
Yeah, so I spent a year as the artist in residence in government with the City of Ottawa, and it was specifically assigned to the Waste Services Department. Okay. And so I spent a year learning about how they do all of the waste services in Ottawa, and then my job was to think of ways that we could creatively engage with the public instead of the usual ways of engaging with the public. And so this exhibition is the final step of this whole year together.
It's incredible. You take reclaimed material and take it and turn it into something beautiful and thought-provoking. I think that it's interesting and fascinating, really. It makes you kind of go, wait, Wait, is that what I think it is? Is that what you wanted to do with this exhibition? Make us really think?
Yes, yeah. Well, so a lot of the times you'll see like junkyard art, and it'll be like old motorcycle pieces put together. And that's a really specific aesthetic, but I wanted to challenge the idea that waste had to look like that we could perhaps turn it into other kinds of art that was more aesthetically interesting. And so I've done a series of different types of art with the salvaged materials. We've got the wall hanging pieces, and this is where the title of Airspace actually comes from or like next to. So this is waste that I've gathered from community members who are going to throw stuff out anyway. And I've layered it to reflect how the landfill is actually layered up so high. So for example, this building is 4 stories. You have to double that plus some to picture how tall the mountain of waste is if you stand at the landfill.
It's incredible
right?
when you think about that.
Yeah.
And then you're using the different materials. I can see at the top there's a newspaper, then there's like textiles, and then there's little bits and bobs and jewelry. And it really does kind of pull you in and make you think about this. And you know what it also reminds me of? It looks like the layers of the earth, you know, through time.
Yes.
This is like taking me through time, and it does represent time and that accumulation of materials that we throw out. Listen, I can go on and on here, but I see some other pieces I want to take a look at and want you to talk about this other piece here.
For sure.
Want to take a look?
Yeah,
okay, let's do that.
So I did a series of animal sculptures as well, and all of these are also made completely from salvaged waste. So inside this raccoon is actually an old wrought iron lantern that someone was throwing away where the glass broke. And so that's the armature, like the skeleton of him.
Okay.
And then his skin is made entirely from salvaged fabric and stuff that was headed to the landfill.
This is extraordinary detail, by the way. You do an amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, look at this.
Yeah, and I do this bronzing technique to make them look really old. And inside of his belly, this is actually filaments from 3D printing. So a kid who was making keychains donated those to me and said, I don't want this to go in the landfill. So we filled him up with them.
There you go, like that. That's amazing. And then this other piece right here.
Yes, so this is a special piece. This is a piece I've gifted to the Solid Waste Services Department. It's my abstract portrait of the department. And so instead of doing something very literal, this is actually waste from their offices compacted into this tube. And it works almost like a time capsule or a core sample. And it also reflects the compaction work that they do at the landfill.
Makes you more mindful. It really does. And then it has you think about, oh, right, what am I throwing out? What am I using? What am I not reusing? And contributing to the landfill. This is a very thought-provoking exhibit, and it's beautiful as well. How long is it going to be on for?
So it's on until March 17th with possibility of extension, actually. So you have a good window of time. But what's really great is when you come in person, you see these QR codes, or if you go online to my website, and you will also see the full catalog. Each one of these goes with a journal entry about my residency and a piece of music to go with each one.
Oh, that's wonderful. Jordan Danger. The exhibition is called Airspace. It is absolutely, like I said, it's beautiful. It's thought-provoking. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That was so neat. I love that visit. Coming up on Your Morning Ottawa. Today's Sleep Week, we are featuring all about teens and why they need their Z's. Dr. Paul is standing by in the CTV Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. We'll speak with him after the break. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa, 726. We'll be right back. Good morning. Coming up on 7:30, I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
And I thank you for the warm weather that you provided us with.
Finally.
And hopefully you got a chance to embark on our beautiful skating adventure because, Rosie, it is coming to an end.
Yeah, we're going to get to today's top stories and get to that topic right now. It is the final day to lace up your skates on the canal. The Rideau Canal Skateway will close for the season tonight. The NCC making the announcement it will close the skateway at 10 p.m. So there will be one more day of skating. This season will be 56 days long, 4 days longer than last season. The canal opened December 31st. The NCC says it has received more than 1 million visitors since then. There is a new proposal to build 5 residential buildings in Orleans, one as high as 40 stories. They could house hundreds of residents, but there's a catch. There wouldn't be any parking for the people living there.
There's been a recognition that that should be left up to the market.
Well, that's going to be a problem because surely people will have cars.
That's crazy. I think the development is long overdue, and it's an awesome opportunity for Orleans.
There would be space for 1,500 residents and only 136 parking spots for visitors. The development would be located close to Highway 174 and the future O-Train East extension, which is why the proposal is allowed to include such limited parking. The project still needs to be approved by council.
A Byward Market revitalization plan is moving closer to reality after a city committee approved the initial proposal, but there are questions around the removal of a popular parking garage. Part of the city's $200 million plan would see the old Clarence Street parking garage transformed into a new arts and cultural hub. The city says underground parking is possible, but it would add roughly $50 million towards the plan and replace only about 60% of the existing 290 spaces.
There's not enough parking on the market. Whether there's transit available or not, we still need parking spaces.
It's very important to have parking for this area, for the businesses, for the restaurant. People, I know it's going to be a new venue for music too. People need to park somewhere.
City staff will return with a full plan in 2027, and if council approves, it would mean shovels in the ground shortly after.
Thousands of drivers have been fined for not paying new parking meters in Westboro and Wellington West. Bylaw Services says officers issued over 8,000 tickets for parking violations in the Richmond and Wellington areas since the implementation of paid on-street parking in September. This was done to encourage vehicle turnover in roughly 700 spaces. And to international news, speaking in Australia this morning, Prime Minister Mark Carney was asked if the strike in Iran broke international law.
It would appear prima facie not to be consistent or to be inconsistent with international law. It's a judgment for others to make. I'm not a lawyer, let alone an international legal expert.
Prime Minister Carney also called the conflict an example of the failure in international order. He says despite decades of sanctions and diplomacy, Iran's nuclear threat remains. The Prime Minister has faced criticism for initially backing strikes on Iran. This is a strike in Beirut, while Israel says a fresh wave of strikes have hit Iran. A U.S.-based human rights agency says more than 1,000 people have been killed in Iran. Gas prices are up across the country, and experts aren't sure how high they could go.
No one can really predict where prices are going to be, and I wouldn't trust anyone trying to predict where prices are going to be in a month or next summer, but certainly when we look at the trend is upwards.
Tensions in the Middle East has put upward pressure on energy prices. In the Ottawa area, the price for a liter of gas jumped 6 cents a liter overnight. Canadians for Affordable Energy President Dan McTeague is predicting another jump tomorrow.
U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has agreed to testify before a congressional committee over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Lutnick acknowledged last month that he visited Epstein's island in 2012, but denied any wrongdoing. The announcement comes days after former U.S. President Bill Clinton and his wife, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, testified in the inquiry. Justin Timberlake is suing to block the release of police body cam footage from his drunk driving arrest. His lawyers argue that it would subject him to public ridicule and harassment. The pop star pleaded guilty to impaired driving in 2024. Police say that he ran a red light while driving in New York's affluent Hamptons region.
If you looked up at the night sky yesterday, you may have caught a glimpse of a rare celestial show.
Yes, it was a total lunar eclipse, and it was visible across Canada and turned the moon red. This was the view of the blood moon over Toronto this morning.
The phenomenon happens when the Earth moves between the sun and moon, casting a shadow, turning the moon a deep red. The next total lunar eclipse won't happen until late 2028.
So hopefully you got a glimpse of it.
Yes, absolutely. And if not, then you got a good glimpse just there.
I do have to say it's so great too, because so many of our viewers get to provide us with those great telescope photos and get really into it and then provide to us to share with others. So thank you for all of those, because we love to get them in.
Absolutely. In our forecast today, I know all eyes are like wondering, is spring here? Not quite yet, although it will feel like it today and over the next few days, especially as we head into the weekend. And next week, it is going to be very, very mild. Clear skies this morning, sunny and mild into the day ahead. As we head towards the end of the work week, we are expecting some wet weather, which will continue into your weekend. But don't worry, we still have some sunshine on the way as well. -1 for us here in the city with that wind chill. A little bit of a wind chill this hour. Feels closer to -6. Feels like -2 out in the valley. -5 in Kingston. It feels like 0 over in Kingston. Right now under skies, we're seeing clear skies to start things off. We will still see a mix of sun and cloud throughout the day ahead, so we will see a few clouds kind of rolling here and there throughout the afternoon, but overall a beautiful day to get outside. Enjoy your last day to skate on the Rideau Canal Skateway, or maybe we head to the ski hills. It will almost feel like spring skiing later on today. As we head over the next few days, it will be cloudy, and then as we head into Friday, we will eventually start to see some rain, so it looks like it could start to rain early in the morning Friday off and on and continue in through the weekend forecast. But today's recess forecast is looking fantastic. It will be mild this morning, sitting at 1 and 2 into the early morning hours, so temperatures will warm up fairly quickly, and we will see a mix of sun and cloud. Then our daytime high of 3 degrees. We'll reach that by about 1 p.m. later on this afternoon. Temperatures today very mild across the region. Some areas a little bit warmer than us here in the city. 5 degrees for Bancroft, Kemptville, same with down in Brockville. 4 for Kingston today. 3 for us here in Ottawa, same with out in the valley. Warmer in Kittigan-Zibi, sitting at 6 degrees into your afternoon. Over the next few days, we will continue to see this warm weather, so that's the trend for at least the next week, but we still have a little bit of winter left. -7 is the overnight low for tonight, so a little bit colder tonight. Could see some fog patches develop overnight. Early tomorrow morning could be a little bit foggy. Cloudier day than today, but still some sunny breaks into the day ahead. 0 is your daytime high, warming up Friday and through Saturday, where we could see some scattered showers, and yes, temperatures almost climbing into those double digits on the weekend. On your drive-in right now, the disabled vehicle on the 417 eastbound has been cleared, but we're also seeing heavy volume eastbound on the 417 between the 416 split and Richmond Road. 174 is slow westbound between Orleans Boulevard and John Dark, and we also have backup southbound on the Champlain Bridge towards Island Park this hour.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
It is Sleep Week here on Your Morning Ottawa. Today, we are focusing on teens. A staggering 73% of high school students are not getting enough sleep. And for that reason, we are paging Dr. Paul to get his advice. Good morning to you, Dr. Paul.
Good morning.
Sleep. It is just so essential to our well-being. Bodies, bones grow, cells grow, and grow healthy, but you need the sleep.
Yes, you do.
Okay, but especially for teens, how much sleep is needed when we're talking about teens?
Well, you know what? At least 8 to 10 hours.
Okay.
People think it's less, right?
Yes.
They're surprised. Your younger kids up to 12 hours, but teens need 8 to 10 hours of sleep. And it's important, as you talked about bones and developing, the brain develops. During puberty, a lot of stuff happens in the brain. And so they need the sleep for the bodies to recover and for the brain to develop, right? And so what happens with teenagers is because of puberty, they tend to not be able to fall asleep early, later. So that's why a lot of schools are looking at starting high schools a bit later in the morning to allow the kids to get the 8 to 10 hours of sleep.
Dr. Paul, I remember it was painful getting up and trying to get to school on time, particularly in high school. I was dragging. It was so hard. So we go to bed naturally a bit later because the body is still moving and growing and working.
Exactly.
The mind.
That's the effect of puberty. On the growing brain.
I got it. Okay.
And so, during that time, you need that extra sleep. But the problem is that they can't fall asleep that early. So that's why they have a hard time at school. A lot of schools start at 7:30, 8 in the morning, right? Which means they got to get up at 6.
Right. Which really they should be in bed by like 8 o'clock.
Exactly. Which
but
they can't.
There's no way.
So they're usually in bed at 10, 11.
And
so
they're
to
not
get that
getting enough sleep.
That's right. So I've been working with a lot of school boards to try to look at changing the school times.
That could really help. Okay. Let's move on to the next one here.
This is really important because most teenagers are not getting enough.
They're not
and
getting enough
a recent study looked at them, and 73% are not getting enough.
Okay.
So it's like a quarter are. So that is a problem.
Okay.
And there's stuff that parents can do and people can do, but there are consequences. Getting enough sleep,
yes,
of course, benefits, but not getting enough sleep, there are consequences.
Okay, so that's the next board right here.
Yeah.
What are the consequences of not getting enough sleep as a teenager?
Yeah, so as a teenager, first of all, you're going to school, right? You're not going to be alert, so you're going to have school difficulties, learning difficulties, irritability, behavior problems, aggressive behavior, really social problems, all these things that will get in the way of your normal sort of, psychological upbringing and schooling, right? Academic performance. But what is more important as well is that we know now, longer term, teenagers who chronically do not get enough sleep have higher rates of chronic diseases like obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, and even more prone to mental health issues later on in life, and more prone to accidents. And of course, if you're sleepy and lethargic in the morning, you're more prone to accidents.
That's true. I mean, you think of just like an athlete. I'm going to take that as an example. The coach goes, okay, you got to get your full night's sleep because tomorrow you have to perform.
Exactly.
So you sleep, you get that sleep because it's regenerative, right?
Exactly.
And then you're ready to face the day.
Exactly.
If you're not getting enough sleep, and now we're back to the teens, you're going to underperform.
Exactly.
It can really affect you.
And then when you bring that to learning, right? So what happens is you learn in the morning, you learn during the day, and at night your brain kind of, stores it, stores that information. And if that process is disturbed, then you're gonna. That's why you have learning issues.
Okay, finally here, so what can help them sleep better?
The good news is a couple of things you can do, and this applies to everybody, really, of all ages, but particularly for teenagers. First thing is to maintain a routine. Regular time every day. Let's say you want to go to bed at 9 or 10 o'clock, do it every day. The reason I say that is because a lot of people say, you know what, okay, I'll go to bed late every day, but I'll catch up on the weekends. Catching up will not help. That's the problem.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, so people don't realize that. The other thing too is you want to have, a calm room, calm, quiet room. Importantly, what I'm going to say, in the day of digital era, no screen time around bedtime, pre-bedtime. And obviously avoid caffeine. Before bed.
So true.
So establishing those routines. So that's why we tell parents, even at a younger age, before their teens, establish those routines. And kids will then, learn to do that. And so, okay, fine. A younger child might go to bed at 8. An older one might go to 10. But if they do the same routine, it'll help them fall asleep much more easily.
Oh, Dr. Paul, it's so great to have you on here talking about sleep during our sleep week and talking about sleep for teens, loving all those great reasons. Thank you again for stopping by. Melissa.
Coming up on your Morning Ottawa, getting ready to tee up. Spring is just around the corner, and so is golf season. We'll tell you about a great local event for golf enthusiasts just ahead. Here's a live look for a Centennial Glass sky cam this morning. Starting to see some sunshine out there with a high of 3 degrees into your afternoon. Happy Wednesday. It is 7:43. The sound of spring. Yes, golf season is just around the corner, and I know many are very enthusiastic to get out on the links this summer. However, before we do so, there is an expo happening this weekend, and we are so lucky because we have Greg and James here with all the details for us this morning. I love that we're talking about golf because it's a sure sign that spring is definitely around the corner.
Yes.
I think we're all excited at this point after a very long winter.
100%, especially with the weather we're forecasting.
Yes.
Everybody's glued to the weather.
Absolutely. Okay, give me the details on the expo happening this weekend.
Pretty simple. It's March 6th and 7th, so this Friday, Saturday. 12 to 8 on Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday.
Okay.
Lots to do. We definitely want to make it interactive. We have over 80 exhibitors this year, so our biggest ever. Very interactive.
Okay.
There's lots of booths to see and lots of deals.
I love that.
But definitely you want to get involved and try everything out.
And it's happening at the EY Center?
EY Center, yes.
This weekend. So can you kind of give us the details of what some of the booths people will find there? Because is it for beginners or is it for intermediate or experts or everybody?
It's for everybody. So we have the stay and plays, we have the destination golf, we have local golf courses, but we have like the newest and greatest drivers. There's a fitting area at Canadian Pro Shop online, has a driver demo. You can try out all the latest equipment. But we have 2 wholesale retailers, giant wholesale retailers. Got all your clothing for the year. There's literally everything in golf is there.
and let the excitement build for hopefully the spring to happen very soon and us to get out on the courts here in the city. And you brought your own golf clubs here today.
You bet. I got a bag of tricks here, Melissa.
Bag of tricks.
Have you played golf before?
I've played golf. I started when I was very young, actually, when I was in grade 8. I don't know how old I was, but I started very young. I haven't done it in years because I have kids now, and I just don't have that much time.
I hear you. So one thing we want to make sure is we take care of the fundamentals.
Okay.
So that's club face alignment, grip alignment, arm structure, posture, ball position, and stance. That is a lot.
Yes.
But if we're off on any of those, we can directly affect ball dispersion right away before we hit.
All right, I love that.
So we want to make sure, if I hold this up here like this, and you take your lead left hand and then your right, so you have done this before.
Yes.
This is very good. So when you notice that your trail right hand is lower than the club, your whole right shoulder and elbow would be higher.
Okay.
We want to try to level those out.
Okay.
So simply just tilt this back, ease the tension, and now we're going to bow from the waist.
Okay.
Put this down, and we're going to have a shoulder width apart stance.
The high heels are throwing me off a little bit because I'm usually a little lower to the ground.
That's right. And then one of the things we want to make sure we do is with the driver, ball position is in line with your left heel.
Okay.
And the club shaft is going to be
my left heel, so the ball would be about there.
You got it. And this is ideal, but you see how dominant your right hand is?
Yeah, I'm very right hand dominant.
Exactly, and so many people are right-handed swingers, and so we do want to set up the lead left side.
Okay.
And we're just going to slightly move this forward to promote a lead left arm, and the reason we call it the lead left arm is it's the closest to the target, and we want to make sure it's going to work like the big hand of a clock, and it's going to create diameter and width. Where the right hand will collapse all that, and we'll get bent arms and elbows, which are hard to hit and repeatedly hit the golf ball.
And is that why I kind of go right a lot of the times, because that right arm is just so dominant? Is that what's leading me right?
You got it.
Oh, I've never learned that before. Look at you, learn something new every day. Well, hopefully I have a bit of a straighter swing than this season.
There you go.
Just give us the details, because there's a door promotion as well.
Yes, so with your purchase, whether it's online or on site, we always recommend getting the tickets online. They're 20% off. CanadianGolfExpo.ca. What it is that you get a free green fee to Lac Ste. Marie. So over a $55 value when you get your $10 ticket.
Okay, amazing. Well, thank you both so much for joining us here today, and I'm sure it'll be a packed place this weekend as people get excited for the golf season. Again, this is the Ottawa-Gatineau Golf Expo happening March 6th and 7th at the EY Centre. You can head to their website for more information and ticket details, CanadianGolfExpo.ca. Rosie.
Coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, we get a visit from Grilled Schwarma in the East End. They join Your Morning Kitchen coming up in the 8 o'clock hour.
It is a milestone celebration time for this Wednesday, March 4th. Let's kick it off with a happy 10th birthday to Adric. We got double digits, baby. Welcome to the double digits, buddy. Lots of love from Mom, Dad, Owen, and the rest of the family. That is our only milestone for today. Oh, look at that. Repping the Sens jersey as too. We love it. If you got a milestone, celebrate it with us. Send us those birthday announcements for kids 13 and under, or 100 or more, or wedding anniversary celebrating 50 or more with a little advice. Email us ottawa.milestones@ttv.ca, and we will share that with our viewers. If you stick around, here's what's coming up in the next hour. The Rideau Canal Skateway season, it's coming to an end. It closes at 10 p.m. tonight. We'll hear from the CEO of the National Capital Commission. A busy 2026 only gets busier for three-time curling world champion and Olympic bronze medalist Emma Mscu and the rest of Team Homan. Emma is going to be joining us shortly, talking about her Olympic journey and what's next in the career. And packed with the flavor and crispy on the outside, here we go. Grilled Schwarma joins us to tell us about their famous sandwiches. Oh, and if you know me, you know I love me some shawarma. Here's a live look through our sky cam, and the sunshine is poking out. Today's daytime high 3, average high -1. That is, ladies and gentlemen, above seasonal. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's Wednesday, March 4th. The Rideau Canal Skateway is set to close for the season tonight after 56 days of skating.
And a potential headache for drivers in the Byward Market as a large parking garage is nearing the end of its lifespan.
And we check out a shawarma spot in the East End. Grilled shawarma will be joining us in your morning kitchen. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning, just after 8 o'clock. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edden.
I'm Layla.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
Really glad that you could start your day with us, and it looks like it's going to be another mild one. We'll get to the forecast in a moment, but first, we're going to talk about your top stories. It is the final day to lace up your skates on the canal. The Rideau Canal Skateway will close for the season tonight. The NCC making the announcement. It will close the skateway at 10 p.m. So there will be one more day of skating. This season will be 56 days long, 4 days longer than last season. The canal opened December 31st. The NCC says it has received more than 1 million visitors since then. A major housing development has been proposed for Orleans with one big catch. There's no parking for residents. There's a proposal to build a 5-building development near the future O-Train East extension, which could include 30, 35 and 40-story tall buildings. In total, there would be 1,500 residential units, but only 136 parking spaces for visitors. The developer says parking is not required given the proximity to future transit.
I think it's unreasonable. I don't think that you can guarantee that 1,500 units, all these people won't have any cars.
Not everyone wants a car, not everyone can afford a car, and not everyone can drive a car. So I'm really, really happy and really support to see an opportunity to give options to people.
The proposal would need to be approved by council, and if built, would be years away.
A Byward Market revitalization plan is moving closer to reality after a city committee approved the initial proposal, but there are questions around the removal of a popular parking garage. Part of the city's $200 million plan would see the old Clarence Street parking garage transformed into a new arts and cultural hub. The city says underground parking is possible, but it would add roughly $50 million to the plan and replace only about 60% of the existing 290 spaces.
There's not enough parking on the market. Whether there's transit available or not, we still need parking spaces.
It's very important to have parking for this area, for the businesses, for the restaurant. People, I know it's going to be a new venue for music too. People need to park somewhere.
City staff will return with a full plan in 2027, and if council approves, it would mean shovels in the ground shortly after.
It was only a matter of time before companies started making smartphones for pets.
The pet phone made its debut at the World Mobile Congress in Spain. It's mounted on a pet's collar. When it senses a lot of barking or agitation, the phone automatically calls the owner.
A camera allows the owner to see what's going on while they speak to their pet.
Uh-oh.
Now, this is dangerous too, because I remember when I first got my puppy too, I set up like the camera and I could watch him, but then I was at work and he was getting up to no good. It was like, I can't do anything about it, so it stressed me out.
Right.
So I think it is very interesting to see how it develops from there, but sometimes better isn't, or the new technology isn't always for the betterment.
And I know there's that camera that shoots treats out at the animals, at the dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like scans by and then it shoots it underneath.
Yeah, absolutely. Temps this morning, not too bad. We are sitting at -1 to start off your day. With that wind chill, still feels closer to -6 here in Ottawa. Feels like -3 in the valley this morning. Already 1 degree in Brockville as well as in Cornwall. So some sunshine today, a beautiful sunny day ahead. So we have a beautiful mild day with sunshine. We will continue to see more sunshine tomorrow. And then as we head into Friday, Saturday, that's when we're expecting a bit of wet weather on the way. So we do have some icy conditions in through the weekend forecast. At least temperatures staying mild though. For us here in Ottawa, 3 degrees today, similar across the region. Temperatures really ranging from 2 degrees to 5 degrees. 6 degrees is the daytime high out in Kittigan-Zibi into your afternoon. Temps for us here in the city reaching a high of 3, so I've swapped the gloves this morning for sunglasses because you'll definitely need those into the afternoon, especially with all this sunshine. And check out the 7-day forecast. Great news for some, not so good for others like the Rideau Canal Skateway. They're not loving this forecast. -7 is the low for tonight. Cloudy skies tomorrow, 0 is the high. Then we are expecting some rain Friday and through Saturday, and quite a bit of accumulation as well. Will be a little bit wet and soggy. Then temperatures climbing to a high of 9 degrees on Saturday, and it will stay very, very warm Sunday right through until next week. Temperatures almost in those double digits. On your drive in, still just seeing heavy volume east to west on the Queensway right now. It's slow if you are heading eastbound on the 417, Richmond Pinecrest in through downtown this hour. Also heavy at the split in through downtown if you're heading westbound on the 417. Rosie.
The Rideau Canal Skateway season is coming to an end. After 56 days of skating, the NCC says the Skateway will close for the season at 10 o'clock tonight. Joining me now is Toby Nussbaum, the CEO of the National Capital Commission. Good morning to you, Toby. I see you're out there enjoying this rather mild day. So tell me this, how did this year's skating season go?
I mean, it went brilliantly. Thanks for asking, Rosie. We are super happy with what was, as you say, 56 days of the Skateway being open. On our 56th season, we didn't plan it that way. Mother Nature had a lot to do with it. But absolutely a phenomenal season. So many happy faces, so many smiling faces. So it's just been wonderful.
So, Toby, we've been announcing all morning long that about 1 million people came out to skate. Is that right this season?
That's right. So on Sunday, at some point, we don't know exactly when, we reached the millionth visitor. So now with, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday adding to that total, we think we'll be probably closer to 1,100,000 in that range, which is a great number. Whenever we break 1 million, we're super happy. So, the crews did an amazing job of keeping the ice in really, really good shape. So that helped. Rosie, on Family Day weekend alone, we had 190,000 people come to the Rideau Canal. And it just shows you what an important part of the Ottawa culture the Rideau Canal Skateway is. So that was a wonderful number for us to see.
Oh, that is wonderful. Now, you talked about the condition of the ice. I'm wondering about today, on day 56 of skating on the Rideau Canal Skateway, with it closing tonight at 10 o'clock. What is the condition currently of the Rideau Canal Skateway, the ice?
It's mostly good. Okay. So I'm standing on the north end by the National Arts Centre, and I think we call this fair. Okay. But the further south you get towards Dow's Lake, the better the ice gets. So I would say lace up, calm on out. Of course, we also have a walking path for a couple of different stretches. So even if you're not a skater and you want to experience the canal, even if it's for the first time this season, it's going to be a glorious day. I'm squinting, Rosie, because I got the sun glaring at me, which is a good problem to have.
It really is, and I noticed your jacket is open too. I love that because it's not bitterly cold out today. So, okay, Toby, with the skating season behind us, it's time to think about spring and summer. And I'm wondering if you can talk about anything new that you can share with us about any of the summer attractions like the River House or Dow's Lake Dock this year.
Yeah, so we've got lots of exciting things coming with a real focus, as we've been doing over the last couple of years, on activating our shorelines and waterways along the Rideau Canal, along the Ottawa River. So we're going to have more of that. Stay tuned for some of those announcements. So we're going to have, the Dow's Lake Dock is returning. We're going to have, Rosie, at least one other swimming spot. So that is going to be exciting for us. More restaurants and bistros. So even more exciting things coming this summer in the capital, not to mention the sauna that we had promised last year will be coming in 2026 as well. So although we're sad that this is the last day for the Rideau Canal Skateway, excited now for what's coming in the summer season.
Okay, exciting things to come. I got to ask you about LeBreton Flats. What's happening there as far as the Sens are concerned?
Yeah, things are going well. As you know, we signed an MOU with them last year. The Sens are working hard now on figuring out how they're going to get to shovels in the ground. So we are still talking with them, helping them out with that, and the discussions are going very well.
Okay, well, that is good to hear. Hopefully we'll get shovels in the ground sooner rather than later. You know we're all looking forward to that, Toby.
Absolutely.
Okay, Toby Nussbaum, head of NCC, thank you very much for your time. And maybe you'll get a skate in just before it wraps up tonight at 10 p.m., correct?
That's the plan, Rosie. That's the plan.
All right, thank you so much, Toby. Will, over to you.
Well, coming up next in Your Morning Ottawa, we have a treat for you today. We meet Olympic bronze medalist Mscu. She'll tell us about her experience curling in Milano Cortina just after the break. We'll take a peek outside. As you just saw from Rosie's conversation, it's a beautiful day and the final day. You can get out on the canal. Closes at 10 p.m. Centennial Glass Skycam showing an above seasonal afternoon. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Today's snow report brought to you by Some Edelweiss, where happiness falls from the sky.
JS here again, reminding you where to find the best ski and ride conditions, the best snowmaking, the quickest lifts, and your favorite runs. Come ski with me at Some Edelweiss.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We got a treat for you this morning. It has been just over a week since Team Canada's women's curling team took home the bronze medal at the Winter Olympics. After a 1-3 start, the Canadian women stormed back to secure bronze on that podium. Team Homan's Mscu joins us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
First of all, come on, show off that. Come on, show it off. Yeah. Congratulations. It's
Thank
such an
you.
amazing journey. I'm sure it's only been a week now. Probably so many emotions going through it, but tell me about that experience.
Yeah, it was really cool, especially just having started 1-3. It was very similar to when Rachel and I were in Pyeongchang in 2018. We started 0-3 and we couldn't really battle back. And this time it was like, we really don't want that to be our story again. We really just want to turn things around. We didn't know we'd have to win the rest of our games, but as it turns out, we were in like basically must-win sudden death games for the rest of the round robin. Got our spot in the semifinal. Didn't manage to win that semifinal. We were against the team Sweden that ended up winning the gold, but to have a chance at a medal at that point, we were so proud of ourselves, and to come through with that bronze, it was just really cool.
We were all watching so closely during the show, after the show, into the afternoons, especially our team here. It was amazing to watch. Can you walk me through what the atmosphere was like at the biggest stage in the sport?
It was awesome. It was really different also being in Cortina versus being in Milan. Just the mountain town, it was a little smaller, but so cool there. And we had friends and family there cheering us on. There were other Canadians there that came on that we didn't know that were there with the maple leaf just in the crowd. And we just felt all the love, whether there or from home. It was a really surreal experience.
And what was that like, having the support? Because you probably, I can't even imagine how many text messages and phone calls that your phone was going off during that time, but to feel the love from your friends, family, and country must have just been surreal.
Yeah, everyone was behind us, and that was part of how we just kept battling and not giving up, and we really stuck together, and we felt all the cheers from the crowd that were keeping us going, and we won a couple really close games, but those people that were there just yelling for us and making sure that Canada had some noise really just kept us going in those moments.
The adversity from that 1-3 start and fighting back to get on the podium is just so amazing. I want to switch our focus a little bit and talk about the Scotties, because there's been some controversy happening there.
Yeah, like we weren't in the Scotties this year just because of the timing. It was kind of right before the Olympics, and we were told that we shouldn't go, strongly advised, basically told that we weren't going to go, just based off the timing and needing to prepare for the Olympics instead. The controversy is just that the men are able to compete in the Brier in their respective national championship when we were not able to, so that just created a little bit of controversy among ourselves, but among fans as well, that we're still fighting for a bit of equality in our sport, and for the rules to be fair for everyone.
Yeah, and especially because when you have a run like that, you come back with a medal, and we're all so excited, and we just want to keep watching.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. So at age 5, you started at Little Rock program right here in Ottawa. It's so amazing, at age 5, so you can see the dedication that you put into. Now that you've gone to the Olympics, you come back with the hardware. What would you tell age 5 Emma when you look at what you've accomplished today?
Well, at 5, I was there for the hot chocolate and just meeting other kids. But I wouldn't really even call it curling at that point. But I would say that just dreams do come true. You fight for what you want to achieve, and I grew up watching curling on TV. My dad especially, was big fans of curling, and it was always on TV, and you would see athletes competing in the Scotties or the Brier or the Olympics, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to get there. But you say that, and you don't ever actually know if it's going to happen. You can dream, but I would say like dreams do come true if you work hard enough. It's
such inspirational words, and you know, you get to come home, you get to share it with the dogs as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure you probably gave them a double big hug when you got back. When you look ahead, what's kind of the next steps? I know you kind of want to soak this all in, but do you have some thoughts about the future when you look ahead to the direction of the journey?
Yeah, I think that curling's one of those cool sports where you can play a little bit longer as an athlete than some other sports that are out there. We're lucky that way. So I think we're going to keep going and keep working hard and keep trying to win more, and then we'll see what happens from there.
And you know, you talked about equality. International Women's Day is coming up, and you are such a beacon in this field and an inspiration to so many women. How does that kind of tie into the message when we have that important day coming up?
Yeah, I think we're just trying, as a team even, to just pave the way so that women and girls want to stay in sport, and because it's easier than it has been for us and for women before us. So we really just want to keep trying to make a difference, showing that dreams are possible and you can keep working at stuff, but also trying to make things easier and make things more equal for all the women that are coming up above us, behind us.
Well, it's so incredible. We are so grateful to have you come in and share your journey. Show it off one more time.
Yeah.
Show that fling. Yeah. Emma Mscu winning at the Olympics. Congratulations, and thank you for spending some time with us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, let's take a look at your ski hill conditions. 2 of 5 lifts open at Edelweiss. Close to 100 runs with the warmer temperatures. I think today might be the day you want to hit the slopes across the board. This is what we're looking at. Mount Cascade, 4 of 6. We got 100% at Calabogie Peaks. Just shy of that in Vorlage, and Camp Fortune, 14 of 27 runs. Get in while you can. The Canal closes today too, so get out while winter lasts. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Orpheus Musical Theater is back with their latest production. They have the legendary Jesus Christ Superstar, and here with all the details, we have JT Morris as well as Exxon Lamour. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Always great to have you and get a little preview. So tell us about the latest production that the Orpheus is putting on.
Yeah, so just as you said, legendary show, Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah.
This came out in the 70s. It's the first rock opera ever, and Orpheus has actually never produced the show before, so we're pretty excited to bring it to the stage.
And so why did you want to tackle something this big?
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. I mean, the membership at Orpheus, which is all volunteers, the audiences love this show so much and have for years, but we've never done it. And that's just because it wasn't available for community theaters to produce. So the second it became available, it was time to snatch it up.
You jumped on it.
Yeah.
Okay, Exxon, tell us about your role in the show.
So I play the role of Peter, which my young altar boy self would be pretty happy about.
Yeah.
Getting to know, the story of Jesus growing up.
Yeah.
Peter is the one who denies that he knows him so that he doesn't get in trouble with the Romans. But I also love that he's essentially part of the ensemble in the show as well. He's got a lot more to do through Act 1 and Act 2. But it's fun to explore that kind of conflicted feeling he gets throughout the show.
What do you enjoy about playing this character?
Oh, God. I mean, beyond the music being absolutely stellar, that exploring that conflicting feeling of, I love this man and I want to follow him and I want to learn from his teachings, but also I need to protect myself to an extent. It was really fun to explore.
Can you tell us more about the details of the show itself and kind of give us the premise of what happens throughout the musical?
Yeah, it was a bit of a revolutionary choice when Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice wrote it, because what they wanted to do was really humanize Jesus and Judas and the whole story around it. Everybody kind of knew the story from the Bible, but it was something removed from everyday life, and they wanted to make these human characters and show their emotional arcs that were happening in those final days of Jesus's life. So it's kind of a neat way of looking at the whole story that we all know pretty well.
And what can the audience expect if they come out and watch the show?
Oh, I mean, banging music.
Okay, okay. That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, some absolutely amazing rock and pop and soul influenced music that must have felt absolutely crazy to put on in the 70s and still holds up really well today.
Okay.
Along with a lot of fun choreography, a bit of crazy lighting. yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's incredible, the production, because you mentioned you are all volunteers, and when you go, the quality and the production is just top tier. You would never know that these aren't, you know, everybody's not being paid.
Yeah, it's true. To this day, every time I'm in the lobby during the runs of shows, I announce at the top of the show that it's volunteers, and every day people come up and I can't believe that was all volunteer, because these are $200,000 shows, and the talent that we have in Ottawa that keeps coming out, we're so lucky in this city.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's really nice that we're all just doing it for the love of the game.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it so special, because you can see the passion that everybody has in their each individual roles. When does it start?
Opens this Friday, March 6th, and runs till March 15th. Opening weekend's already almost sold out, but there's still a lot of good seats left for next week, Tuesday through Sunday, so check it out.
And then one more production left of this season, and then you look forward to next season.
That's right.
Do you have any sneak peeks for us yet, or any teasers?
Okay, well, we are, the next show that closes this season is Singing in the Rain. That's going to be a big one.
Another good one.
And then next season, we're actually announcing during the run of Jesus Christ Superstar. I can give you hints. There's a Disney movie in there and some big major musicals.
Oh, that is a good little hint. Okay, I'm going to have to pick your brain after. Well, thank you so much for joining us. As you said, this weekend almost sold out, but there are still tickets left. Where can people go for more information in those tickets?
Hop online, orpheusmusicaltheatre.ca, or give us a call at the box office, 613-580-2700.
Amazing. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Will.
You know, I really wish that you could smell through the camera, because I might be a little biased because it was one of my favorite foods, but we got some shawarma in town today, and it smells so good. Grilled shawarma is here. We'll be slicing it up, cooking it up, getting that garlic sauce on there. Oh, in our Your Morning Kitchen, it is going to be a tasty one. We'll have all those details coming up just a bit later on Your Morning Ottawa. Outside, it's a beautiful day. Temperatures above seasonal, climbing up to 3. It is 8:27. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Hope your day is going well so far. Thanks so much for starting your day with us. I'm Rosie Edmond.
Yes, happy hump day. I'm Willa Hello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
All right, we've got a pretty mild day ahead. Melissa's got the forecast, but first off, we're going to take care of your top stories. It is the final day to lace up your skates on the canal. The Rideau Canal Skateway will close for the season tonight. The NCC making the announcement it will close the Skateway at 10 p.m. So there will be one more day of skating. This season will be 56 days long, 4 days longer than last season. The canal opened December 31st. The NCC says it has received more than 1 million visitors since then. There's a new proposal to build 5 residential buildings in Orleans, one as high as 40 stories. They could house hundreds of residents, but there's a catch. There wouldn't be any parking for the people living there.
There's been a recognition that that should be left up to the market.
Well, that's going to be a problem because surely people will have cars. That's crazy.
I think the development is long overdue, and it's an awesome opportunity for Orleans.
There would be space for 1,500 residents and only 136 parking spots for visitors. The development would be located close to Highway 174 and the future O-Train East extension, which is why the proposal is allowed to include such limited parking. The project still needs to be approved by council.
A Byward Market revitalization plan is moving closer to reality after a city committee approved the initial proposal, but there are questions around the removal of a popular parking garage. Part of the city's $200 million plan would see the old Clan Street parking garage transformed into a new arts and cultural hub. The city says underground parking is possible, but it would add roughly $50 million to the plan and replace only about 60% of the existing 290 spots.
There's not enough parking on the market. Whether there's transit available or not, we still need parking spaces.
It's very important to have parking for this area, you know, for the businesses, for the restaurant. You know, people. I know it's going to be a new venue for music too. People need to park somewhere.
City staff will return with a full plan in 2027, and if council approves, it would mean shovels in the ground shortly after.
Thousands of drivers have been fined for not paying new parking meters in Westboro and Wellington West. Bylaw Services says officers issued over 8,000 tickets for parking violations in the Richmond and Wellington areas since the implementation of paid on-street parking in September. This was done to encourage vehicle turnover in roughly 700 spaces.
And continuing with parking, the owner of a downtown garage that partially collapsed last year plans to reopen it. A section of the garage at 170 Slater Street collapsed last February, setting slabs of concrete, piles of snow, and other debris down multiple levels. About 50 vehicles were stuck inside the parking garage for weeks. The owner says restructuring work is set to begin in the near future. The cause of the collapse remains under investigation, but city officials said the snowbanks on the top level were, quote, without a doubt, a contributing factor.
Speaking in Australia this morning, Prime Minister Mark Carney was asked if the strike in Iran broke international law.
It would appear prima facie not to be consistent or to be inconsistent with international law. It's a judgment for others to make. I'm not a lawyer, let alone an international legal expert.
Prime Minister Carney also called the conflict an example of the failure in the international order. He says despite decades of sanctions and diplomacy, Iran's nuclear threat remains. The Prime Minister has faced criticism for initially backing strikes on Iran. This is a strike in Beirut, while Israel says a fresh wave of strikes have hit Iran. A U.S.-based human rights agency says more than 1,000 people have been killed in Iran.
We're going to cut off all trade with Spain. We don't want anything to do with Spain.
And speaking in the Oval Office yesterday, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to cut off all trade with Spain. He says Spain refuses to allow the U.S. to use its military bases for missions linked to the Iran war. This morning, Spain's prime minister doubled down on his stance. He says the U.S. and Israel are playing Russian roulette with the lives of millions of people. In another test of support for President Trump, the U.S. Senate is expected to vote this afternoon on a resolution on his war powers.
U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has agreed to testify before a congressional committee over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Lutnick acknowledged last month that he visited Epstein's island in 2012, but denied any wrongdoing. The announcement comes days after former U.S. President Bill Clinton and his wife, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, testified in the inquiry.
Zendaya and Tom Holland are married?
Okay, so that's what Zendaya's stylist is saying. He dropped the bombshell news on Sunday's Actor Awards, saying the wedding happened in secret.
Rumors of a wedding started swirling after Zendaya was spotted wearing a gold band last month.
I saw that on the red carpet.
Me too.
And he just said it and went boop and walked off and said, let that sit with y'all for a bit.
Yeah, and like, uh-oh, whoopsies.
Yeah, and I like it too, right? Because it's times like that they have zero privacy. So maybe just they wanted to have just a special moment continuing on with them.
And good for them for being able to keep it private for at least a little bit to enjoy the moment. Yes. Temperatures this morning, not so bad. We are sitting at -1 here in the city with the wind chill this hour. It feels closer to -5, so we have warmed up slightly. It feels like -3 in the valley, -6 currently in Kingston. We will see sunshine today, a few clouds out there, mix of sun and cloud this morning into your afternoon. The systems will stay to the north and to the south of us until we head into Thursday overnight, early Friday morning. That's when we're expecting some rain in the forecast for us. And it will be a little bit soggy as we head into the weekend as well. Temperatures today, very mild. Beautiful day across the region. 3 degrees for us here in Ottawa, Cornwall. Slightly warmer for Kemptville, Bancroft, Brockville, sitting at 5 degrees today. 3 as well out in the valley in both Pembroke, Petawawa, as well as in Gatineau. 6 over in Kittigan, Zibi, so very mild temperatures to the north of us. In our 7-day forecast, this warm weather will stick around right through until next week. But in the long range forecast, still lots of winter to be enjoyed. -7 is the low for tonight, 0 for tomorrow. We will see that sunshine. Even when we're expecting the wet weather Friday and through Saturday, we'll still see some sunny breaks in there as well. Then as we head into next week, temperatures climbing almost into the double digits on Saturday as well as Monday and Tuesday next week.
Weather brought to you by Yeckendorf Rashid. Experience, knowledge, and a commitment to excellence.
On your roads this morning, 417 slowdowns at eastbound at the 416 split in through Richmond, but it's definitely easing up. Backups on Parkdale southbound near the 417 overpass.
It smells so good. Here we are in the Your Morning Kitchen, and we're talking grilled shawarma. And I've got Ibrahim and Ali, they're brothers. They run this beautiful establishment. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, you guys were putting the finishing touches on here.
Yes.
You know, the thing is, Ottawa is known for its high quality shawarma. So tell me about yours and what makes it different.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So we are family owned.
Oh, that's so
We're
good.
always in the operation. We're always on top of everything to make sure everything always tastes really good.
Yeah.
And we also put a lot of love and like authenticity into our food.
Yeah, that's so important. Now I want to ask this, Ibri. The recipes, the whole energy that goes into preparing the meals, is it coming from grandma, ma's? Is it one of those recipes that comes from back in the day?
Honestly, it's a mix of everything.
Yeah.
So when our dad used to be in the industry a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of it's in our bloodline, you know.
Oh man, that is so great.
yeah.
Okay, so we're looking at some. Oh, look at that! See, there it is. There's the meat just falling, just coming off there. Talk about how you prepare. What makes your shawarma so good? And we're talking about they're like sandwiches, right? How would you describe it?
So we have a big menu. We make sandwiches, plates, family platters.
Okay.
Right now, what's very popular is a crispy sandwich. I don't know if you heard about it.
Tell me.
It's like you take a bite and it's crunchy, loud noises.
What you got in there?
Yeah.
What's going on?
So it's just the traditional garlic, pickles, pomegranate. We make it like back home, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he forgot to tell you, it's just because we're good at what we do, right? So,
yeah, you're so good at what you do. Can we get a little demo? What do you have?
Of
here
course.
for
So
us
we
today?
already made the mixed plate. This is one of our most popular items.
Wait a minute, you can come in and order that?
Yeah, that's
That
a mixed shawarma plate. Yeah.
That is stunning. I
And
mean,
it's-
we're talking about that's going to feed a lot of people.
That's advertised for one person, actually.
One person? Yeah. That's beautiful.
Eat at your own risk, kind of thing. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then here we brought you some side orders. This is a small salad.
Okay.
We're gonna make the tabbouleh with you. You're gonna be a chef for the day.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so
you
this
ready?
is tabbouleh.
Tabbouleh, yeah.
Tabbouleh.
It's like a Lebanese traditional salad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So where do we start?
Okay, so we already cut up the parsley, the green onions, and the regular onions.
That's so nice.
We're gonna put these in the bowl.
Okay. Healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah, serving of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then here you got your tomatoes.
Okay.
Everything needs to be diced really fine.
Yeah. Whoops. Got you there.
There you go.
There you go.
You want to just throw those in?
I can do that. I love
There
the
you go.
dicing of the tomatoes. Okay.
And then here, olive oil. This is
Yeah.
straight from Lebanon. So
Yeah,
there you go.
just all around.
Exactly.
Look at that, beautiful. Okay.
I'll get that.
Okay.
Black pepper. Not all of that.
Not
though.
all, like a pinch, right?
So,
Just
yeah.
like okay, I'll put like a little.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's good.
there you go. A little bit of salt.
Double the amount.
Double it.
Yeah. There you
The
go.
salt really helps to bring out the flavor
Exactly.
too, doesn't it?
You want to do the squeezing?
Oh, can I do that? Yes. That's so much fun.
Fresh lemon juice.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, this is therapeutic too. Okay, so you guys are you guys in the kitchen?
Yes,
Day to
most of the
day?
time, yeah, for
Do
sure.
you bump into each other? Do you get along? How's it work? Yeah, it's all good?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, so good. And then, what is this?
This mint, dried mint.
Wow.
Yes.
Just a little bit, right? Just a little touch?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, all right. And
That's about. Oh no, that doesn't go in there.
that doesn't go in
We're
there.
gonna do
Okay.
another half a lemon.
Ah, there
Okay?
you go. Ooh, wow. See, because he's got some serious biceps. So he just,
Saw the difference in the squeeze.
that was amazing.
And now he's gonna mix it up. So if
Okay.
he drops it, it's his fault.
Okay,
No,
yeah,
I'll try
okay.
not- I'll try
All
not-
eyes on
a
you,
lot of pressure
Ali.
here.
All eyes on you, Ali. Okay. Oh, that's. Look at this. Look at this. All this goodness, fresh too.
Exactly.
I mean,
Fresh
every
cut.
single day you come in there, you can order. What's a popular dish that people order?
So the plates, the sandwiches, the tabbouleh is very popular as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where are you located?
So we have two locations, one on 10th line in Orleans and
Yes.
one in Ambon.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Grilled shawarma.
Grilled
I love
shawarma.
it.
Grilled
Yeah, okay. And then, there
Then
you
you
go.
put it over here.
Wanna put that in there? So what are we doing
okay,
here?
right, okay,
Oh,
like
look
this.
at that. Double spoon that baby.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, great. Oh, That looks beautiful. It smells amazing. Just that little bit of mint.
Yeah, exactly.
That was added.
It's
just
aroma
a wonderful aroma.
And
Wonderful.
don't tell your husband, but this is for you,
What do
okay?
you got? Oh, man.
Oh, there you go. Nice
There
rose.
you go. Thank you very
No
much. That is so sweet. I won't tell my husband because I don't have one, but you never know. I might get one one day. I've got Will and Melissa coming in too. They want to do a little taste here.
I gotta go for some of the garbage.
Here you go. Here you go.
Oh,
I know you're not going to go for the pickle.
No.
Yeah, this is
So I'm
beautiful.
going to go for the pickle with the chicken. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Chicken.
Okay.
What do you think? Good?
You guys available every day to come in?
Every day. We'll be here.
This is absolutely amazing. This is so fresh.
who
You
wants
can
that?
order all of this
There you go.
grilled
Tabbouleh.
shawarma.
Tabbouleh.
A little healthy.
2288 10th Line
There you
Road,
go. One for
Alley.
you. And then
And
I'll get you one
BB,
as well,
thank
if
you
you
so
like.
much for coming
Thank
by.
you guys. Thanks for having
If
us.
you know of a great chef or restaurant you think we should feature on the show, let us know. Email us, yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. 8:43. We'll be right back.
Ask the Expert, brought to you by CAA Travel.
Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for joining us. We got Julie, CAA Managing Director, here to talk about travel with your families, especially as it starts getting even a little bit nicer here. We start thinking about other destinations. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Well, especially March break, right?
Yeah, especially when March break is right around the corner. Melissa on our show was talking about, so she's going to be traveling, and she hasn't done family traveling in quite some time, and you've got some great ideas for destinations and some tips for us this morning.
Well, you know, it's more complicated when you've got kids, especially when they're younger, say like, you know, under 8 type thing. So you have to kind of think about what their interests, their activity level, their nap time. If you're a strict parent like I was, you know, you stick to the schedule. And so there's a lot of places that people are really exploring now that are a little outside of the usual. So obviously the Caribbean, standard. Everybody loves that for families, for, you know, your all-inclusives. But Costa Rica is really popping for multi-generational, for families, because there's all sorts of activities that are adventurous. You know, there's zip lining, there's whitewater rafting, there's boating, wildlife sanctuaries, that sort of thing that really attract kids and families. And it's a safe and such a beautiful environment. That country is gorgeous. And then, of course, you know, staying within Canada, we see the stats still happening. So Vancouver's having an epic winter. So Vancouver's a good destination. Banff and PEI. Those are all places that people are loving for families.
There's such great locations too, and especially if you have that family you talked about. You know, maybe you just don't want to go to a resort. Maybe you want to have a little bit more of an active family vacation, and CAA can help you with that based on where you want to go to.
Right. So, you know, what you have to ask yourself is, okay, so for families, they want convenience, they want value, right? They want to have stuff that is going to be family friendly, and a little bit of adventure, right? You want to make it memorable. If you're going to put out that kind of money to go out, so you sit down, you go through that, and maybe do a little questionnaire with your family, you know, make it fun. And then you come to one of our travel consultants, and they've got a whole raft of opportunities and approaches that could be, you know, build your own adventure. It could be an all-inclusive, the whole range of things.
And let me ask you, not only as the CAA Managing Director, but also as a proud mama, what are some tips that you can give to our friends that are traveling with the families? And Melissa wants a few too.
Well, cruises are great, right? So cruises are always going to be a really seamless way to incorporate a family vacation. It's like a resort on the ocean. There's something for everybody. And you have lots of ports that you're going to visit, right? So you don't have to unpack. You've got day trips, and it's always something exciting to look forward to.
It is amazing. These are going to be such helpful tips, and we'll continue this conversation after the break. If you got any questions for us, send us your questions. You can live phone in 613-789-6559. The extension is 2803. Or you don't want to call in, you just want to send us an email with a loaded question, yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. We got Julie here. You can join in on the conversation with any travel plans you have. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ask the Expert, brought to you by CAA Travel.
Welcome back, everybody. We are with CAA. We got Julie here, the CAA Managing Director, talking about traveling with your kids, multi-generational families, having some great tips for us, and something that we've been talking about this morning, which is so cool. A little bit of a different avenue that you can be thinking about that might be educational and an experience.
Right, so cruises, obviously, great. As we said, like, it's one of those things that it covers all the bases, especially when you're doing multi-generational travel. You got the kids, the parents, and the grandparents. So how do you cover all the bases? We were just talking about the National Geographic Lindblad expeditions, something I wasn't really familiar with, and I looked it up. It's something that we book. You can go to Iceland, Antarctic, through the jungle, and you travel with scientists. And there's a Junior Explorers Club, so you can track whales with a scientist to an oceanographer. You can go through the jungle with a naturalist. You're learning as you go. There's adventure built into it as part of that component. But then you're on a cruise. So if Grandma and Grandpa just want to sit and sip tea while you go battle monkeys in the jungle, then, you know, that's a possibility as well, right? And they've got a whole range of really family-forward opportunities. There's, you know, obviously there's Royal Caribbean, there's all of the other cruises that do a fantastic job, but as you were saying in the break, sometimes you want adventure, sometimes you just want to chill and relax, right? So you can toggle back and forth between them.
And it's so great too, because an experience like that could be for the kids, it could be for the parents or the grandparents. When you think about the education that you can learn from that, it's great at any age. And I want to continue the multi-generational topic because, okay, you're there, you've got the trip planned, the ideas are there. What about accommodations? Because I feel like that can be a little bit troublesome when you're planning the trip. So what are some tips there? So
I went on a multi-generational trip, and my parents booked 2-room suites. So they got, you know, I got one kid, they got another kid. And that worked out really, really well. So you might want to get like a bigger suite, invest in that. Accommodations are always going to be one of those things where you want to be able to retreat from the noise and the chaos on a cruise. You have to have a couple of things that you want to go to a travel consultant with. One is mobility of the older generations, their capacity for adventure, things that they're interested in. The younger kids, what their mobility is, you know, when do they need snacks and nap time and all the rest of it. And what sort of time frame are you looking at? A lot of people build these trips around milestones, celebrations, 60ths, all that kind of stuff. So those are all things, but that require a little bit of planning ahead to make an amazing, magical trip.
And Julie, right before we let you go, I have to ask you, because you've recently been on this trip, what would be, from that experience, your final advice to people that are having this multi-generational trip planned?
You know what? Let the kids and the grandkids just go and have their own moments. It's so beautiful to watch that unfold, and they get their own little memories that you don't need to be hovering over, right? And it's in a safe environment. It's awesome.
I love it. Such great advice. And I know that many people with March break coming up have these trips planned, and it's so wonderful. If people want to get some more ideas, what's the best way to reach out to you?
You know what? Just go to CAA NEO or stop in at one of our travel stores. There's always consultants willing to, you know, listen and give you some advice.
I love that. So there you go, Melissa. You hear that? We got some great advice for you coming up a little bit later on. If you want to contact CAA Travel, there's all the info for you. But Melissa, let the grandparents and the kiddos enjoy their time. You sit there, relax with Nigel, have a drink, maybe two, and just chill out.
And you know what? My parents are watching, so now they heard it from the expert, so there's no arguing that. Well, hey, Ottawa, get ready to be inspired by experts and discover the latest trends. It's the Ottawa Home and Garden Show presented by RE/MAX, March 19th to the 22nd at the EY Center. And we want you to find everything you need to tackle your home and garden projects. We're giving you a chance to win tickets to the show. Plus, one lucky winner will win the grand prize of a $2,500 gift card and VIP seating. Enter for your chance to win. Our contest page, ctvottawa.ca. Good luck. Love that. It means it's home show, gardening season around the corner. I love the sound of that, Rosie.
We know what that means. Spring is around the corner. That's all from us here at CTV, Your Morning Ottawa. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you right back here tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Take good care.